and a 3 and a 2. Oh, Peeps watched Human Traffic and 24-Hour Party People last night.
Human Traffic's awesome film.
Yeah, retro though.
And
Very retro
I
now.
wasn't even into dance music when that came out either, but I still thought it was a really good film.
Yeah, that baby on the ceiling.
That's Trainspotting, mate.
That's Trainspotting. What am I thinking of Human Traffic? Oh, that's the one where they. Well, one of them's working in like a fast food restaurant, and they all have shit jobs, and then they
take loads of drugs.
They live for the weekend and take loads of drugs and party up
and
down.
Danny Dyer.
Danny Dyer wanks himself to his mum.
Oh, that's the one where he's in the toilet and he's shouting, isn't he?
Yeah. Nice one, brother.
Yes. I said nice one.
The guy who played the sheriff, I can't remember his actual full name, from Walking Dead, was actually in that film.
Oh.
He plays the ex-girlfriend of the one that he's
Andrew Lincoln
crushing on. That's it. It's we're in the bar, isn't it? And he says something like, if we were to both have this conversation as proper men and talk how we really feel, the conversation would go something like this. It's like, fuck off, die. Yeah, I hope you die, mate. Later.
That's you with most conversations, isn't it, in your head?
Nice one!
Oh, dear. Oh. Right, should we get going again?
Seconds.
Yeah.
I'll catch you later, mate. Don't go changing, try and please me, alright?
Yeah, nice one,
This is,
nice one,
I suppose, a smoother ending than Peeps' intro last week.
Nice one, brother!
I said, nice, bruv!
Fucking nice one,
brother!
I haven't listened to the edit of that yet. It must have been an absolute mess.
What's that?
Peeps' intro last week.
Oh, it was fine.
Was it?
Yeah. Mate, I'm a wizard with the editing. You know this.
I'd have to listen to it later.
Right, let's just start. Ready? 3.
Yeah.
2. 1. Hello and welcome to 360 Gamercast episode 55 for Tuesday the 19th of January 2021. I'm your host Mark Webb, gamertag personality, Steam ID, Webby, 360G, and joining me today is...
Nice one, brother! Cinema Dan.
And back again like an unwanted bowel movement, it's Sensei Switch.
And I'm going to say, nice one, brother, to Clarky79, who just subscribed to the channel with his Twitch Prime membership. He has subscribed for 6 months on the trot now. Good lad.
Is that the Bezo bucks, is it?
Yeah.
The free cash.
I'm still yet to see any of this money drop into my bank account. So I don't know what's happening.
It doesn't exist. I think you've got to get to a certain level, isn't it?
Yeah. I think you need to get to £100. I'm not there yet. It's going to take ages.
Cash windfall. You keep knocking these bloody podcasts out every week, and then you got to give us our share as well.
Well, that's the thing. But I also need to. I need to figure out. I've been sitting there today looking at Twitch, thinking to myself, I need to find a game to stream that people actually watch. Because I decided to stream some Death Stranding yesterday, and I had one viewer for only about half an hour of the whole 2 hours I was streaming the game for.
So walking simulator, mate.
Talking to myself.
Start taking some estrogen and grow some man maries, and you'll be fine.
Yes, that's what my missus said actually. But I mean, I'm halfway there with my man boobs anyway. But
yeah.
I was actually looking today at what are the popular games on Twitch, and I was quite surprised to see that Rust has made a huge comeback. Had over 300,000 people watching people play it today.
Mm-hmm. Is that the one where you get naked and run around in an empty, desolate environment? Yeah?
Yes, it's Stunty's favourite game, isn't it?
Yeah, it's about 4 or 5 years old now, isn't it?
I know, but apparently it's made a massive resurgence. I don't know why, but it's super popular.
I reckon it's big. Yeah, usually what happens is a couple of really popular streamers start picking it up.
Yeah.
And it just like rejuvenates it.
Yeah, that's more than likely. But you know, you had all the usual suspects. PUBG, League of Legends, Call of Duty are the popular ones. So I don't know.
You can
I
always
might-
have a word with Nicky and see what tentacle porn games he's into now. Maybe you might be able to play some of that.
Yeah. I was thinking of maybe I might start streaming our Call of Duty sessions or maybe some PUBG or something. I don't know. I want people to tell me what they want to see.
Well, I mean, maybe if you were to do some, I don't know, Warzone, I guess, because that's you have again at Peeves and Collins to play,
Yeah.
and then just try and turn it into a bit of bants and hey presto, kind of like a off, another version of the podcast, I guess. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
And then you can monetize it and benefit off all their hard work.
So I've got a little story actually. So I was playing Call of Duty with the lads this week, Colin and Peebs, and we our first game. No, it was our second game. Actually, we got a win. But anyway, we got into the third game, and I was like, "Oh, my missus had nipped to the shop and left my daughter asleep downstairs." And we just start about to launch the game, and I hear her screaming. It's like, "Oh, right, I'll go downstairs and grab her." Anyway, I had these slippers on, and my carpet's really shit in my rented house. It's really thin, and I got to the top of my stairs, and I'd slipped, and I fell down the stairs.
Oh, ouch!
Yeah, fucking bloody hurt. But anyway, I got up, like fucking aching and that. I picked up Harris, walked upstairs. I was like, got my headset on. I was like, guys, and I'm like, Mark, Webby, what's going on? You're not playing. I was like, I've just fallen down the stairs. And they were like, what the fuck are you doing on the headset? I was like, well, I thought I'd let you know.
Priorities,
I
though,
don't
isn't it?
Yeah.
fall downstairs anymore. I fall up them quite regularly.
It's like when you fall up the stairs and then you're crawling up them the rest of the way like a bloody baby, like a small child or
Best
something.
one was falling up the stairs carrying a bowl of warm hot soup at 1 a.m.
Oh, what are you doing eating soup at 1 a.m, you weirdo?
I was off my tits, mate.
Oh, right, that makes sense. It's not really the sort of meal you have when you're off your tits, though. It's normally like a takeaway KFC
I was
or
hungry
something
and
like
I
that.
thought it's easy to make,
Yeah.
I usually lose my appetite, mate. I don't know. You must have had a.
Yeah. Depends what drugs you're taking, I suppose. I mean.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Because it's usually when I've been out on the piss, I really fancy fried chicken. I don't know what it is. It's every time I'm drunk, I need some fried chicken in me. And then we'll talk about the rest when we're off the show. But good times.
Yeah, I'm glad this is a Patreon episode.
Yeah.
Oh,
Peeps
dear.
got a kill screen on COD, so we'd won our game as well. And Peeps'
that good, a kill
Xbox
screen?
locked. No, so his Xbox crashed just as we won. So I don't know if it counted or not, actually.
I don't think it does, because Peebs moaned about that a while back, didn't he? Saying he's had a couple of victories and his system's crashed and it hasn't counted.
Is that his shitty Xbox One S?
Oh, he's got a Series S and 1S, yeah. Oh, yeah, he's got 1S. Yeah.
Yeah.
His
upgrade,
Xbox crashes more than my PC. I think that's saying something.
Yeah, I know.
Oh dear.
I thought because you said kill screen. I suppose that in some circles that's quite a good thing, but obviously, it designates some element of skill. And I guess when Pete gets a kill screen, it's because his Xbox is shit.
Got a kill screen over here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you might be in the chat, mate. We can see you.
There's a kill screen over here, guys. So also talking about kill screens and stuff, I watched a video gaming documentary yesterday that I would like to recommend to everybody. So if you have Sky TV, there is you can just go onto your planner or whatever and watch on the stream. It's called Console Wars, and it's about the Nintendo versus Sega era. And it's actually really interesting because it's all taken from the American perspective. So it's an American documentary. So it's about how Nintendo just owned, like over 90% of the console gaming market, and then how Sega, muscled in and took the majority share. But it was actually it was just quite interesting because it was just about because they're interviewing all the people that used to work there and like the higher ups and all of that, and there's some quite interesting stuff about how they would meet up at the conventions and take the piss out of each other and all that sort of stuff. So it's a really interesting documentary. Actually, I really do recommend it. It's
Cool. I'll have
it's
a
a
look.
fascinating but behind the scenes look at 90s gaming, late 80s and
Nice.
90s gaming. It's
The
it's
golden era
fascinating.
of gaming. The golden era,
I
as
mean,
I'm concerned.
I mean, we're at that age, and I'm a little bit younger than you guys, but I consider, the 90s to be the golden era of gaming. Your Mega Drives or Genesis for the Americans and your SNESes and stuff. And then obviously PS1 coming
PlayStation,
in.
Saturn,
Yeah.
latter end of the Dreamcast, golden times, man.
Yeah. It's just fascinating because towards the end of the documentary, it briefly mentions Sony and how they muscle into the market, but only mentions them very, very briefly. To be honest, I was talking to my missus about it because we watched it together, and when it ended, the whole documentary felt like more of a love letter to Sega than anything else, which I really actually quite enjoy because I'm a big Sega fanboy anyway. And I remember it very well when Sega came out of the console business, and I was actually really upset at the time. So I have a lot of fond memories about Sega, and it's just quite sad where they got to. And it was just quite interesting because Sega America were doing really well. So all the decisions that Sega America made was making Sega a lot of money. But then the demise of Sega was actually just a little bit of a spoiler, but it's all ancient history. There was a manufacturer that wanted to sell this silicon chip for Sega to make the next console, and Sega Japan blocked that and said, no, we don't want this company to make our chips. So that company went to Nintendo and made the Nintendo 64. And then was it? Yeah, it was the Nintendo 64, and then that chip went in. So Sega went and did their own chips, and that obviously was the downfall of the Sega Saturn because they had two CPUs in it, so it made it really difficult to make games for, and that was the downfall of that system. And then obviously you had the Dreamcast, which just died a death. I think Sony just pushed them out the market there, but
Yeah, I did
yeah.
Dreamcast all the way from launch to its demise 2 years later. And I was gutted. I spent a fortune on the Dreamcast. Absolutely. I had the
It's a
steering
great
wheel.
machine.
I had the light gun. I used to showboat. I used to have a cigarette at one end and the light gun on the other. I used to finish House Dead 2 with one credit.
Brilliant.
That's
Do you
how great it was.
remember Typing of the Dead as well for the Dreamcast?
I know of it. I didn't play it though.
One of my favourite games on Dreamcast was Phantasy Star Online. I played that religiously. It was so good. Loved it.
So did I. I played that a lot as well.
Which is it actually surprises me, Dan, that we haven't got into Phantasy Star on the Xbox and PC.
I played for a bit.
Yeah.
I played for a bit a few months ago. It was it was.
It feels quite dated. I think this new update will make it a lot better. I hope anyway.
And a lot of areas, and a lot of walking between things, and a lot of the maps are a bit nonsensical. But the character I made looks like a dude though.
A dude, bro.
A dude, bro. Yeah, pretty much. Good.
Yeah. So anyway, shall we kick off with the news? I don't have a jingle yet, guys, so I'm just gonna have to say this is the news. Yeah. So a little bit of news. You might have seen my video on my new YouTube channel, Mark's Gaming Den. Just going to pimp out that channel very quickly. I put a couple of videos out on there. So if you search for Mark's Gaming Den, you'll find I've done a video about my impressions and reactions to this little piece of news, which is that a new Indiana Jones game is being made by Bethesda. It's actually being made by Machine Games. So they did the Wolfenstein games. So I've got quite a lot of high hopes for this. This should be quite cool. We've not seen any gameplay or anything. They literally did a tiny little teaser trailer, which was just the screen moving along and you seeing a whip and a hat, and that was it, you know. But it's got a lot of people excited.
It'll be here. Well, they got a film out. Well, I haven't started it yet. They'll probably start filming it this year or next.
Or making it.
Yeah, so you're not going to see this game at least until 2023, I guess.
Yeah. It's going to be a while.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other little piece of news, which I'm quite excited about as well, is that EA have lost the license to Star Wars. And there's a new Star Wars game being made by Ubisoft. Now I know you're a little laughing, Dan, but I'm actually quite excited because
Why?
Because it's the Division 2
what?
team in Ubisoft that are making the new Star Wars game.
After Division 2, I'm so full of...
yeah, but I'm going to let Darren go on this one. Rip it to pieces, Darren. That's a bad decision.
Well, no, they're a decent developer, but I still think Division 2 wasn't a patch from the original. I just didn't have anywhere near as much fun with it at all.
Mm-hmm.
They took all the good things from the original game and chucked it all out the window and basically shoehorned you into a fucking strict way of playing the game, and boring.
I mean, I've actually
bit of fun with it, but
I mean, I've actually been playing a little bit of Division 2 this past week with Turner from our community, and been having a lot of fun with it again, actually, which has made me quite excited.
It has good moments, but I just had much more fun with the original, and it gave you so many more options in the original game.
Yeah. So that's that piece of news. So before we move on, I just want to say I did a couple of videos for Mark's Gaming Den, and one of them is I did a video, 20-minute video. I know it's a long video, but it's a retrospective of all 3 Shenmue games. So it took me a while to make this. I had a lot of fun recording this, actually, because it's quite weird, because it felt like I was doing a podcast but on my own. So I was talking to myself the whole time, just talking about Shenmue, and then obviously editing the video together. So something I'm quite proud of doing, actually. It was a lot of fun to do. I mean, the Shenmue series is one of my favourite game series, and so just going through those 3 games and talking about them, there is spoilers and stuff, but I had a lot of fun doing that. So if you're into the Shenmue series, or just want to check out my video, then do. It's I had a lot of fun doing it. Cool.
Very good.
Okay, next piece of news from me is that Square Enix have filed trademarks for a couple of games, Ever Crisis and The First Soldier. So these make reference, I believe, and what the internet believes as well, to the Final Fantasy VII game that came out on the PSP.
Okay.
Crisis Core. So this had a character called Zack, and it was a prequel to Final Fantasy VII. Now, there's a few things about this that's interesting. So they might be thinking about re-releasing Crisis Core, which I would hope that they do, because that would be amazing. Or more likely, this could be hints at DLC for Final Fantasy VII Remake. Now, we're almost at a year since Final Fantasy VII Remake came out, so Sony are going to be losing their 1 year, are going to be coming out of their 1 year license agreement for exclusivity. So the game should be coming to PC and the Xbox family of consoles in March, April time. Now, this would be a really great time for them to start to announce some DLC coming, or maybe some next gen versions or something like that. But anyway, I think it's cool. It's a cool thing that it's interesting that they're doing. So yeah, I'm excited.
You sound excited.
I am very excited. More Final Fantasy. Well, you know that when Final Fantasy VII Remake comes out for PC and Xbox, I'm going to be buying it again on PC. So I'm one of those nut jobs that I will be like, I want to play it again. So
would you get it on the Xbox for the Chivos? Would you get it for?
No, I'll get it on PC so I can hide in my man cave and play it without being disturbed.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds good. Good for you.
Yeah. That is all the news that I could find. I know you've got some more news though, Dan.
Yeah, it's been PS5s are coming back to the UK. We know that for sure. On Friday, I got a stock alert at Smith's Toys Friday night at about 9 p.m. So quick as a flash on the website because I want one.
Yep.
And eventually I managed to get one into my basket. Then the fucking thing crashed.
Oh,
So,
I know that hurts when that happens.
Yeah, a little bit. But the rumour is at the moment there's a big stock drop coming to the UK. And I think, Smith's Toys have already dumped a load of stock. Their stock on Friday night.
Yeah.
Amazon had a stock alert earlier that day, or was it the day before? Anyway, and a selected number of PS5s went on sale for about $179.99, which is a little bit cheap. Exactly.
Yeah.
I couldn't get one into my basket either. Don't worry. So I reckon that was a test as well. But the amusing thing on this, so many people are using these apps to alert for stock at the moment.
Yeah.
That if you're not ultra quick, I've never seen anything like it. I mean, I've got stock alerts for the Series X and Series S, and they've been fine navigating the site. And obviously, a couple of occasions I could have bought a Series X. I could have done, but fuck it, I didn't even like it. I went on this app. It melted the Hot Stocks app completely. You couldn't move anywhere.
That surprised me.
And it melted the Smith's Toys website as well.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping. Obviously, I've got my alert set up on my Apple Watch. So a little tingle on the wrist. As soon as I get that, pick up my phone, I can go straight to my app or straight to the page to buy whatever I want to. So that's quite good. But more and more people are using these apps right now.
Yeah, I mean, you got to, mate. I mean, if you really want the latest tech, I mean, as I say, like the only reason I got my graphics card was because I was signed up to these stock drop apps, and I also had Hogarth, who was also doing the same thing, and he was also pinging me all the time when things were popping off. So I was very lucky. Well, he was also very lucky. We were both lucky. We were both sitting on our PCs at the time when the stock came in. Because when I got mine, it sold out within 3 minutes. So
wow.
Yeah.
And
a little interesting piece of news actually that just popped into my head about PC components. I don't know if this is going to affect consoles, but because of there's apparently like a trade war going on between the USA and China at the moment.
Is there apparently?
Yeah, apparently. So, but because of
another
this,
trade war.
But because of this,
PC a fucking trade war.
Yeah. So anyway, because of this, PC components are jumping up in price. So I saw something in the news. It wasn't in the news. It was just an article stating that graphics card prices are going to be going up quite significantly because of the extra tariffs that are being charged between the countries.
Ooh, very nice.
Yeah. So.
Oh well.
Yeah, so now isn't a great time to be building a PC because one, there's a short supply of components, and two, you're about to be paying a lot more for those components, which is a bit of a shame.
Unless you go on eBay and get some cast offs, I guess.
Well, even the older stuff is because there's such short supply at the minute. Even the older components are holding their value quite well. Yeah. It's a weird place at the moment. It's strange.
Never mind, eh?
Yeah. Sorry, Dan. Anyway,
the other bit of news. That's all right. Well, the other bit of news. I mean, a game has piqued my interest. It was announced this past week. It's King of Fighters 15.
Is that new or is it?
It's new. Yeah, it's brand new.
Yeah,
we had
King
of Fighters 14 was last out on PS4, and this is coming on PS5, I believe, and PS4 and a few others. So that's coming later this year. So they've got a rough build of it coming, and so we've got another King of Fighters coming, which is quite interesting. never really got completely into that game, although I have dabbled and I own an awful lot of them. Of various incarnations, mainly on the Switch, but I've got King of Fighters 14. King of Fighters 13 is currently on Games of Gold. So I've been dabbling playing that, and that's pretty decent. So
Are these games
if you
still popular?
Yeah. If they're making them. I mean, the rest of SNK,
in the
aren't they?
fighting community.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're decent. A Street Fighter S to a degree. It's very similar controls in the sense of circle motions, fighting mechanics, the button
Just
layouts.
More moves and more characters, though.
Yeah, and it's not you don't do like a light, medium, and punch, or heavy punch or kick. But yeah, the characters are batshit crazy. I mean, and also on top of that, they tend to have like teams of 3 against 3, so you tag in and out and shit.
Okay.
So it looks pretty sweet.
The new trailer they released was fucking terrible, though.
Oh yeah,
like the character trailer for the one person, it was like they literally showed like 4 seconds of actual gameplay.
Yeah.
And it was all cut shots of him just doing like light punch, light kick, hard kick, sort of a thing, and you're just like, what? Like that shows us nothing, basically.
Yeah, but it looks alright. On top of that, you can get King of Fighters 14, I think, later this month with all the DLC at a discounted price. So
nice.
Yeah, it's on PC as well now. They brought it to PC a little later. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're into that kind of fighting thing, which I am, go and have a look. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've got it on PC for 14. I think it came in a
bundle.
In a humble bundle. Yeah, I've got it. Yeah. I've never installed it.
It's worth a look. I mean, in all honesty, I've got the steelbook version of it on the PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
I haven't really played it too much because it's one of those titles I bought and then played it for a day or two and kind of forgot about it. But I might go back to it because I'm thinking at the moment, if I get a PS5, I'll just get until they get the solid state hard drive bullshit sorted, I'll just get an external drive for it and just load it up with fighting games.
You know what's coming soon, didn't you, this year, Dan? In about 3 months' time.
What's that?
Guilty Gear Strive.
Is it? Oh. Is that all formats?
Even PS4, PS5 currently, I believe. But obviously it's going to have a PS5 upgrade, which I just imagine is going to be like better resolution and better frame rate sort of thing, even though the PS4 Pro one will do the of like 4K or whatever. But obviously they've always had a decent engine for their graphics sort of thing. They're always very stylized, and this
Unreal
is another
engine,
evolution
according
of that.
to this.
Another evolution of that.
Nice.
So it looks even more sort of like well presented. Downside to it, there's 2 SKUs for the game. So there's like one that comes with a season pass, which is going to include characters that aren't actually in the full roster.
Yeah,
only something like 12 characters or something in the game.
I hate when they do this bullshit. That is absolute bullshit.
That's fighting game nonsense, mate. That's the one thing I've always bitched about with modern fighting games. They just fucking nickel and dime you constantly.
It's a shame because the Guilty Gear games have a really nice art style.
Yeah, and they always hold back on certain fan favourite characters for the passes because they know people are going to buy the passes just to play those characters.
Yeah. Bastards.
Yeah, I've got one of the Guilty Gears on the Switch. Which one is it? Sorry, let me have a quick look.
The older ones, isn't it? When it was like before they did the 3D sort of mix.
Yeah, I've got it here. Yeah, I've got what was it? Guilty Gear XX A-Core plus R. Whatever that means, I don't know.
Yeah, they are pretty weird with their namings, like, to be honest.
This fucking name's out of the hat, isn't it? Fucking hell. Jesus Christ. Anyway,
they use the naming conventions of Microsoft, pretty much. Like,
Series X. There we go. Yeah, Type 1. So, yeah, that's the news on my side, really. I've probably bored some people shitless with all the fighting game talk, but hey-ho. And, quick one. There's been some. I've seen some early reviews for Persona 5 Strikers.
Okay.
And I pre-ordered that the other day.
The good news is, it sounds very much like it has the feel of a Persona 5 game.
It's got all the aspects
kind of like
with
the Dynasty Warriors-esque kind of gameplay chucked in. So I have high hopes of this one.
Oh, so what it is? It's like a Dynasty
it's gonna be
Warriors
good.
type game, is it?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been out in Japan now for almost a year.
Really?
Yeah, it's taken them a while to port it. I think they were getting ready to port it, and then obviously with all the pandemic stuff, and obviously with Persona 4 or 5 Royal or whatever it is coming out, they probably didn't want to confuse people.
Oh, okay. Makes
But
sense.
obviously Strikers, I believe, came out before Royal did in
Oh,
Japan,
okay.
so obviously there isn't as much confusion there. But
Okay.
swinging it around the other way.
So I dropped
But
out
yeah,
briefly there. Yeah, I just got the tail end of that. Yeah, this is set straight after the first Persona 5 game. Did you get that bit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. So I'm looking forward to this. It'd be good. Considering I haven't finished Persona 5.
Where's a long
Yeah.
last game?
I know. So we'll see.
I think I only paid about £36 or something. I think off Shop 2 with discount stuff. So
Oh, nice. Very nice.
You know,
Did you get you got it on
reasonable.
Switch? You got it on Switch or PlayStation?
PlayStation.
Okay. Fair enough.
Cool. Any other
Yeah,
news? Any other news?
That's
Any other
that's it,
news?
mate. That's it. I've newsed out.
Yeah. What about you, Darren? Any news?
Not really. Just the sort of stuff I was seeing was like the CD Projekt stuff or something that's been going on and on and on.
Oh,
and
there's
on
always something going
constantly.
on with CG Project Red at the moment.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've kind of tuned out
About
to it
that
now.
and more rumours about Sony and Konami basically having a sort of like partnership that people aren't aware about yet.
Okay.
So there's people have apparently heard, like, again, take this with a pinch of salt, just like Army Hammer likes his women apparently. So
Next.
yeah, so apparently people have found that somewhere in Demon Souls is apparently the sound of Metal Gear Wreck.
All right.
Sort of mixed in at some point in the game. And obviously there's high speculation that it's going to be Bluepoint that are making the Metal Gear Solid remake.
Ooh.
On behalf of Sony and Konami. Also, another rumor is once this is revealed, Sony are going to purchase Bluepoint.
Oh wow. Okay. That sounds
And
interesting.
there's also rumors that this doesn't just extend to Metal Gear. There is also more rumors that have surfaced about Silent Hills.
Oh wow. Okay. That would be interesting if those went Sony exclusive.
Need to start doing stuff, to be honest, because obviously you've got Microsoft are constantly putting out information about games here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah.
And obviously, bar a few games that you know are coming out for PlayStation, there isn't really much from the announcements front.
Yeah.
And obviously, Sony isn't doing very well with the PS5 in Japan.
Yeah.
Due to certain decisions they've made over the past few years, and probably the fact that they've changed the functionalities of the X and circle buttons.
Yes.
Which they've had in Japan since the fucking start.
Yeah.
When they were the first country that had the PlayStation, and now all of a sudden they've altered that and changed it to a global standard, or whatever you want to call it.
That's odd, isn't it, that they would do that, because it's not hard to change the buttons around. I mean, they haven't had an issue with that for, since '95 when the PS1 came out. Why didn't they just keep it?
And even people who played like the import games know that they're the other way round.
Yeah.
When you're sort of like doing stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, they've kind of lost favour in Japan a fair bit, and they're going to need to pull in more Japanese devs and more titles that are going to appeal to a Japanese market, I think, to win people back.
Yeah.
And as of yet, there's only a handful of games. Sort of we know that are heading to PS5 from actual sort of Japanese devs.
Yeah.
There's a Neptunia game in the works, which I think is already out in Japan. But beyond that, you've got like Guilty Gear, the Neptunia series. It was like a Moe RPG series. I've got a couple of them on the PS3 and I think a couple on the PS4. It's pretty big. There's been a multiple state of games for it on the Vita as well. I think I've got a couple. But yeah, bar those, there's not really much else. And like, you could like back in the day look at like PS4, PS3 releases on sort of sites like PlayAsia.
Yeah.
You see countless games coming months down the line.
Yeah.
And at the moment, it's just kind of a bare space of like just a handful of titles.
Yeah,
Like,
but
I
the thing
honestly
is, I
think
think
Sony need to do another one of their fucking state of plays or something, just to get people sort of hyped up, even if it's just for stuff that's like a year or so out.
yeah, because I saw I forgot to put this in my news section actually, but it's just been brought to my mind. The E3, is it E3 or the latest show? The game trailers.
TGS, I think, was the last one, or no, Game Awards.
Game Awards, yeah. So Sony's trailer at the Game Awards has been edited and has taken out all the release dates from all their games, apparently, which is quite weird. So I don't know if all these games have been delayed or what. I don't know, but it was just an odd one.
I wonder if they've done that because of like I think Stunty mentioned last week. There's probably a lot of developers now a bit wary about announcing a release date for their games.
Yeah,
with what's
course.
happened with CD Projekt Red. So technically, that whole situation with them might have actually helped us out.
Yeah.
In a way, and made less companies likely to sort of jump the gun on a release date.
Yeah.
And with obviously the pandemic still going on, can
Yeah.
you really guarantee anything at the moment?
I know, mate. I mean, it's interesting. I mean, I would rather a game just be delayed until it's fucking ready, and it pisses me off when people bitch and moan, "No, the game's been delayed, and I really want it now." Wow. Well, fucking be patient, you prick. You know, and
Well,
chill.
then again, like we always say, like game delays are usually good because when the game comes out, it's like miles better. But then look at Cyberpunk to a degree.
Well, I mean that
but
was
then I
delayed by a hell
still
of a
know
lot, but...
people. Yeah, but then I still know people who are playing that on the base PS4 that are having an absolute fun time with it.
Yeah.
And haven't really run into many issues bar texture popping, which you're going to have anyway because of the hard drive.
Yeah. 100%. I mean, I've got to that point where I'm just kind of sick of talking about Cyberpunk all the time because it's just what we've been talking about for weeks and weeks and weeks, and it's just.
Right.
I know people are still playing it. I know people are still playing it, and it's not over. And the updates and patches aren't going to be coming till after halfway through 2021 and all that stuff. But
well, haven't they actually got a time limit, like of the next couple of months, to try and give the game, like make the game serviceable? Because the government actually got involved, didn't they? Saying they were going to take money from the government of the country. I can't remember
Poland.
which was Polish government or whatever are actually threatening to take money from them for basically like false advertising and stuff.
Oh, well, I mean,
and because it reflects bad on their country or something. I've got no idea. It's just all weird and bizarre and strange. But
I mean, I don't know.
Oh well, who cares?
Anyway, any other game?
It's a video game. Who gives a fuck?
Any other news?
There's probably some fantastical stuff we've forgotten, but I'll just pipe up later on as usual.
Yeah. I mean, I normally scour the news websites for about half an hour before the show, and I couldn't find much today. Just I don't know.
Anyway, Phil Spector's died.
Yeah, good riddance.
Who?
Have you seen Phil Spector? Oh, he's a murderous arsehole with a silly wig collection.
Didn't he like fucking pretty much inspire the Hair Bear bunch?
No, I have no idea what you're on about right now.
Phil Spector, he was a famous music producer. He produced people like the Beatles, the Ronettes, loads of other stuff. He coined the phrase "wall of sounds." If you listen to a lot of old school tracks, I suppose from the '60s in particular, there's chances are you will come across eventually a Phil Spector produced record. Anyway, about 15 years ago, about that, maybe a bit longer, he shot dead a model at his home, and went to trial, and it was a mistrial, so he went back to trial again, and he got convicted of murder. And every single day at the trial, he turned up wearing a different wig.
Oh.
It was quite a scene, let's just say that. But anyway, he died of COVID-related illness yesterday, and I am not sad at all.
I don't even know who
there
it
you go.
is, so
There you go. It's a big news story in the music world. Big news story.
well, you know that I'm really into music, Dan? So
Yeah,
I
I
definitely
know.
know about that one.
Mm.
Anyway, let's talk about games we've been playing this week. Dan, why don't you kick it off for us?
I finally finished Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity, and this game
you finished it.
I finally finished it. It took me about 30 hours.
Okay.
And I've still got a ton of stuff to do on it. The end game's opened up. There's a quest hidden away at the end to do, and at the moment I'm struggling around trying to work out how to best do it.
Mhm.
There's a lot of collecting various things, trading and doing extra missions, which I'm scrambling through at the moment, trying to work out. It's a little bit fiddly, just to say that. But the end game's fine. I kicked Ganon's ass. No surprise there. Just had a really overpowered Link at the end of it and absolutely turned into mincemeat.
Brilliant.
So that's pretty good.
Is there side quests and stuff in it as well, Dan? Or...
Yeah, yeah, sort of. I mean, you get a map in between each. You get the world map, I suppose, and little target icons appear, and you can travel to anyone at a button click. You don't actually travel from destination to destination by foot. And there's main quests and there's side quests and there's other stuff to do. It's all involved hacking, slashing, and fighting, but there's different variations on it as you go through, and obviously different levels gives you different difficulties and so forth. And there are some interesting extra characters that you can control that turn up towards the end, which is pretty good.
Cool.
So now I think there's a new game plus you can tackle, but I think I'm on the end game, meaning that I can mop everything else up now and go and finish the end game quest and see what that does. Which I'm kind of doing bits and bobs at the moment, but I've kind of lost momentum a little bit. But yeah, about 30 hours worth of gameplay at least.
Not bad.
So it's not too bad. Not too bad. Not too shabby. But yeah, well worth a look. I'm not sure many people have actually given this a go. But it's definitely worth going on. But I said enough last week, so I won't say too much more now.
There's demos out for it anyway, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. The demo gives you a good idea of what's going on, and it's not as confusing as some of the other Warriors games I've found. It's pretty straightforward in terms of go here, send that bloke there, pinch there, kill that person there, that kind of thing. I mean, some of the things it gets a little bit under time limits sometimes, so it does get a bit gnarly. But if you can power the Link up well enough and get a pretty dab hand at how the mechanics work, you can pretty much turn anything to mincemeat next to no time.
Awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, it looks decent, man. I just it's not really my kind of game, but I can see it looks awesome.
Excellent. So I purchased. Well, we might as well talk about the other demo that popped up. Monster Hunter Rise, the new Monster Hunter game on the Switch.
Is a Nintendo exclusive, yeah.
Nintendo exclusive. So it's kind of like Monster Hunter World in that you don't have different areas which scroll over from one to another. It's one open expanse. And it's very much like that, but obviously less graphical fidelity. You get a dog you can ride around on, and you get your little cat as well. I can't remember what they're called. Darren, help me out here. Felines, and you get a dog as well. And the little dog helps you in battle, and you can race around on it when you're trying to get from A to B. There you go. I'll see on the video now. Off you go. Yay! Yeah. And yeah, so in the demo you get two monsters to hunt down. One that's pretty easy. The other one's a bit tricky. They got a new kind of mechanic on there using like a zip guide where you can zip over and launch yourself onto the monsters, and also you can use it to actually capture them as well, and then climb on top of them and then steering them around like a battering ram, which is quite entertaining because it's a little bit fiddly to get going, if I'll be honest, and there's a training mode on it which you can use to try and practice it on. I found it a little bit kind of less intuitive than I would have hoped. because you got to pick up something and then shoot something, and then when it's under a dazed state, you can climb on top of it and then you steer it around and you can bump it into things to try and give it damage, or you can actually run it into other monsters, and then you jump off and then it starts having a scrap with the other monsters. So there's all sorts of different kind of
Can you
ways
stab it in the neck still?
Yeah, of course you can. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I had a big hammer and I hit it around the head. You can still do that.
It's strange that it's a
Oh, hammer
Nintendo
time.
exclusive though, because I thought that Monster Hunter World had done really, really well going onto all platforms.
Well, I think
it did, but
yeah,
it was on all platforms bar the Switch.
Ah, that's right.
So this is, and obviously, I think it used to be pretty much related to be a Sony franchise, because I ended up buying a PS3 because I was like, they're going to bring Monster Hunter to this. It's going to be badass. And then they never did. And then I think they might have had an online-only one in Japan. And then they obviously did Monster Hunter Frontier, which was available on the Xbox 360, but only in Japan. And it was it locked out foreign IPs as well, so you couldn't even import it from abroad.
That's so annoying.
And play it unless you like dicked around with your internet settings and stuff. So during that time, obviously, it jumped ship onto like the Nintendo DS and stuff, and the 3DS and such. And then obviously, when World came out, people were quite surprised that it wasn't on the Nintendo. And I think this is kind of like we're sorry, we'll make one specifically for the Nintendo, because I think World's still got a year or two left in it anyway.
Oh, definitely.
Like,
I mean, we need to go back to it, I think, because I mean, I've had great fun.
Just wait until you get your your Series X or whatever it is, because it's obviously it ups the you can play in obviously higher res with the better frame rate.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Well, I'm up for that.
Yeah, I'm up for it. It's on Game Pass as well, so
it's on Game Pass. I mean, I've already got it on my X as well, already downloaded.
I mean, I've always got it installed.
Should we do it?
Yes, let's do it, man.
Let's do it. Let's set this podcast off. No one's fucking listening apart from Peeps.
Peeps and Clarky.
Oh, we've got Clarky in. Yeah, and some other. I think we might have a load of bots in here as well. I'm not sure.
Oh, like bots.
Well, Nicky's in here.
All right, Nick.
What about Hogarth?
No, he's not in it. But then we've got another TV viewer, Commander Root Fragmentist. Hello.
Hello.
This too. As the actual, some of those must be bots. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, they're going to start trying to sell you kind of like Russian brides shortly, aren't they?
Probably.
Excellent.
Shoes.
So yeah, I mean, I like it. I like it already. I like the fact that sometimes when you're playing the original Monster Hunter, you get whacked and you faint. You have to go back to begin again. The fact you can jump on a dog now and race back to the monster is great.
Yeah.
It's a lot more fluid. There's zip lines, so you can zip around a lot better. The fact that you can set traps, you can tie up a monster and then go take it for a ride and dick around a little bit. Basically, the comedy. There's big opportunity for comedy here, and when we play Monster Hunter, we want to laugh.
Does it have prompts then?
I'm pretty sure somewhere.
Is this game?
I'm pretty sure somewhere.
Is the Switch version multiplayer?
Yes.
Oh, brilliant! Well, I don't know. I need to ask these questions, man. I need to know.
Yeah,
it's Monster Hunter. If it's not multiplayer, just give up.
The demo is online multiplayer until the 31st of January. So
when's the game out? What's launch date?
March, end of March.
March 25th or 26th, is it? Something like that?
Yeah, about that.
And how much is it? 50 quid?
Yeah, 50 quid. But you're gonna get a few hours there.
There's a 90 quid Ultimate Edition that comes with an amiibo.
Ooh. Stunt will be right on that.
I haven't ordered either version yet because it's steelbook.
Steelbook. Oh yeah, the dreaded steelbook.
So I'm waiting for.
See, I'm not sure if I could.
Case.
I'm not sure if I'm going to get this, because obviously I got Monster Hunter World on the Xbox and played it.
Play monsters on the shitter.
And played it quite a bit, but I only really enjoyed playing it co-op, and then I kind of fell off it because everyone else stopped playing it, and I didn't even complete it, which was really frustrating.
No one completes Monster Hunter.
Oh yeah, but I think like in the game, like you get to a certain point, there's like an end big battle.
Oh,
boss
yeah,
battle
Oh
or
yeah,
whatever.
there is,
I
and
never.
then you go into the DLC.
Yeah, I never
Yeah.
even got that far. Never even got there, and I think I got the DLC. I'm not sure. Iceborne, it's called, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Iceborne.
Yeah. So I have been tempted to. I've been thinking about picking it up again on the PC, but again, I'll probably not even fucking play it. So I'd rather just play the Xbox version because I actually have that. So
And you have armor sets,
yes,
progress and stuff.
yes. Of course.
It's a shame it's not cross-play, to be honest. You'd think it would be, or they might have
Yeah.
added that option in or something. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I'm looking
Cool,
forward
man.
to this. This will
Yeah.
be good.
Well, let me know what it's like when it comes out in March, and I might be tempted to
Oh, I think we can tempt you.
pick it up to play some co-op. Yeah.
Yeah. I think we can tempt you. It's quite easy to tempt you.
Oh, it is actually. Yeah, I've got a bit of an addiction, as you know. Yeah.
Cool. Right. I bought a load of games this week.
Ooh.
Which I kind of just it's that January, isn't it? And loads of stuff's on sale. And to be honest with you, I've saved a ton of money since Christmas because nothing's going on.
Yeah.
So fuck it, eh? So I got myself Puyo Puyo Tetris 2.
Yeah.
Tumbleweed.
I actually know what this game is because I bought this for Evan
Oh,
for
I
Christmas.
definitely know what it is.
Oh,
yeah.
I do. You bought it, okay?
Yeah.
I do actually own the original. And if you were to sit these two games side by side, you'd be hard pushed to immediately pick out what's different between them. If I'm being honest. However, I suppose the adventure modes is okay. I mean, I skipped through all the talking bits and all the story because the story's typical bullshit. It's mainly there for unlocking stuff and challenges and whatnot. I like it, but what's quite apparent to me is that the whole if you're not familiar with the game, if you've got two puzzle franchises, Puyo Puyo, which is like a Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, which was a Mega Drive game back in the day. That was the Western release on that, but it was based on the Japanese version of the game, Puyo Puyo. And then obviously everyone's favourite Tetris. And the idea is that it's like an amalgamation between the two, in the sense that you can play against another player who's playing Tetris and you're playing Puyo Puyo and vice versa, and send junk to each other's screens. And there's different game modes which fuse the two play styles together. So it's quite intuitive, it's quite interesting. There's lots going on, and there's lots of different functionality and kind of modes to it, I guess. What I have noticed is that the Puyo Puyo mode section is vastly overpowered versus someone who's playing Tetris. I found, or maybe it's because I'm too good at Tetris that whenever a computer plays as a Tetris, I annihilate them. But when they go to Puyo Puyo, I get destroyed. So I'm not sure if there's a kind of a balancing issue here, or maybe it's just that I'm shit at Puyo Puyo. So I've been practicing that side of the game quite a lot. I did go online, and it is really, really popular in Japan.
Yes.
In fact, there was nobody but Japanese people playing it. So I got
That's why
absolutely
you're getting annihilated.
yeah, I got absolutely annihilated. Oh man, it was embarrassing. I was dead within 20 seconds, and I'm like, oh my god, what's going on here? So there's me with my Tetris skills going, complete and utterly rubbish. So I've been practicing the Puyo Puyo side just to try and get better at the game, and I'm getting there. I'm slowly. It's going to be one of those things I pick up, play, and I don't mind that. I don't mind. I'm quite good. I quite like puzzle games and learning them and getting good at them and pressing skills, because to me it's a score attack. It's a skill set you build up and you learn, and I'm quite happy to do that.
Yeah.
And they're adding new content at the moment, so they've just added Sonic the Hedgehog, and they're going to add new characters along the way, and all these are really skins of, so you get to hear Sonic the Hedgehog say something stupid occasionally, and there's some other weird cutesy characters I do not recognise joining the fray. So make it as you will. I mean, if you were to get these two games, either this or the prequel, I would probably go with the sequel. You probably got you've got content being dropped on it. It's actually cheaper to buy the sequel as a download right now on the eShop market.
Okay.
You might be able to find a cheap physical copy of the first game somewhere. Good luck if you can.
Yeah, I think because I got it off base.com for, I think it was like 35 quid.
Okay. Yeah, I've got mine.
That's an underrated website, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean,
they do some good prices there for stuff.
Yeah.
I've got Atelier Riser 2 pre-ordered off there.
Oh, nice.
I've got this game for, what did I pay for this? About 22 quid download.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, they've got a special at the moment, 22 quid.
Nice.
It's not bad, is it?
That's really good.
Not bad at all.
Yeah.
So I was quite happy with that. All good.
Cool.
And another game I got cheap, which I haven't started yet. I got Civilization 6 for the Switch as well.
Oh, wow, okay.
Which I paid 15 quid for download.
Brilliant.
Which I got on CD keys. So I thought that's cheap. So I put the download code. And the good thing about that also is that on the eShop, you get points back, discount points back. So I got £2.50 worth of discount points back to put to get something else.
Brilliant.
Which I use incidentally on the next game, which was Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
I knew you'd get this on launch.
Yeah. I played this game to death on the Xbox 360. I think we all did. I didn't play much multiplayer though. So I've been, and it is quite. To be honest, it's actually quite tough until you actually start leveling up your character, I guess. I think I've replayed the second world about 3 or 4 times before I managed to beat it. So I'm slowly.
Breakers was kind of similar to that as well.
Yeah.
Like there were certain quests or levels that were a bit shit until you obviously perma-leveled your characters up more.
Oh, exactly. Or you actually start learning some of the patterns a little bit better.
Phantom Breaker, sorry. Battle Breakers, one game.
I never played that. It's Scott Pilgrim, and there's an online mode, I guess. The only annoying thing about it, in order to access the online mode, you've got to log into a fucking Ubisoft account.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm logged into Ubisoft every day, mate. It's fine.
Yeah, they love you, mate. They love your data.
Oh, they love it.
That's why you get serviced so many shitty adverts on your social media accounts.
Yeah.
Ubisoft see everything.
Yeah. The thing with Scott Pilgrim is, Dan, it's quite interesting, isn't it? Because it originally came out on the Xbox 360. Was it about 8 or 9 years ago or something?
10 years ago.
10 years ago. That's a long time ago. And then they pulled it off the store, didn't they? Because the license ran out or something.
The license ran out, yeah.
And then it became a bit of a cult classic, a little bit of a legend, because it was like, well, you can't buy it, but if you already own it, you can obviously still re-download it on that system. But a lot of people are upset about that.
I don't know why.
It's just made a return. And there's a company called Limited Run Games that do physical copies for games that are digital only. And this has been their best seller. Over 200,000 copies have been sold in the first
3 hours they sold 25,000 copies,
so
and those are all Switch copies. I might hide.
Insane, isn't it?
It's nuts. I bought it download. I don't want a physical copy.
I mean it's only £12 to download. I think the physical copy's like 35 or something.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's fine. Yeah, what I will say about it, what this game definitely needs, and what something like Streets of Rage 4 has proven to me, there's no rumble. And
there's no rumble on this game. On Scott Pilgrim.
Rumble at all.
Oh,
no rumble at all.
Really?
Yeah, and it's missing it. But the reason, one of the reasons why Streets of Rage 4 feels so good, the rumbles there, the punches, the kicks, that it's just the right satisfying. A lot of time and effort's gone into this, and there's none of this on here at all. So when you're punching, none of your punches or kicks feel like they work.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm thinking too much in the sense that it is an old school game, and we didn't have rumble until, I suppose, the N64 days. I don't know. It could have benefited, I thought.
It's weird because the Xbox 360 always had rumble in most of its games on the controller, so that just seems a bit odd that it wouldn't have it on the Switch.
Well, I don't know if the original Scott Pilgrim had that on the 360. I don't know, but
okay.
I doubt it'll get patched. Obviously, this seems to me a lot of the
time.
I
might download it on PC and I'll let you know.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's it's good though. I mean, are you going to get it on the Switch? You were umming and ahhing about it.
I don't know what system to get it on. I want to get it because it's available on every single system, and it's the same price on every system. It just depends where I can get some co-op buddies to play it with.
There you go. Well, that's the thing. But you've got a co-op buddy here. Hint, hint.
Yeah. I think you're the only
yeah.
person I know that's actually bought it, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
Well, everyone else is too busy with their SPSs and all that nonsense. Another game I bought, so this keeps going on for a little bit.
That's fun, mate.
51 worldwide games.
I've heard about this. This is meant to be quite good, actually.
Yeah, I saw a review for it, and I thought, yes, I mean, you know, it's 51 top tabletop game. It's actually done really well. You see some of this shovelware on the Switch marketplace, and you think that looks like a pile of crap. It's like 12 games for £3.50.
Yeah.
Checkers and it's all basic stuff. This is actually really well done. Interface is nice. There's a whole kind of history about each of these classic games, giving you a little bit of history about them. There's different player modes on there. I'm not sure if it's online. I can't remember. But obviously, you can play at home with people.
Yeah.
So I've been playing a lot of Yachts or Yahtzee. In fact, I played Yahtzee. Yeah, I've been playing Yahtzee the most on it actually. There's obviously checkers. There's drafts. I've played quite a bit of chess. I haven't played everything though, and that's a good thing about it, I guess.
I'm just watching the trailer at the minute, and the first 3 games I've never heard of. So
there you go. But yeah, there's board games. It's all right. I mean, I paid about £20 for it, which I thought at the same time, I'm probably going to get quite a long longevity out, even if it is like picking up and playing a quick game of drafts or chess or whatever. Because I don't actually own any chess games, and
yeah.
You don't really need anything fancy for chess. You just need a nice interface and
Battle chess.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, Connect
That was
4,
great.
nice.
Yeah, Connect 4's on it. Drafts. There's a
Guess
box.
Who?
No, there's no Guess Who. I'm afraid.
Oh.
You get really sad about it. I'm not sure how that would work on a console.
I was thinking of that. Yeah.
It's like, yeah, but it's fine. It's fun. It's a nice little thing to pass the time. It's inoffensive. It's like a nice palate cleanser. You probably end up, hearing me concentrate and play this whilst I'm podcasting in the near future. I'm not at the moment, I'll have to add, but I might actually learn how to play backgammon for a change.
Yeah, I've never played that.
But yeah, it's it saves on space as well. These board games, if you're looking to play something with the kids or a Sunday afternoon with your family, and rather than dig out a board game where that's dog-eared or the pieces are missing.
It's got poker. Awesome.
It's got poker. Oh yeah, it's got poker on there. It's got pontoon on there, or whatever it's called.
You can't beat physical poker though.
I know.
It's so much better when you've got the drinks flowing and some cigars and mates round and stuff. Obviously, you can't really do that at the moment, I guess, because of the shit that's going on.
There isn't any monkey tennis, Hogarth. There isn't. So
did you say you can play all the games online?
I don't know actually. I'll have a look. I don't think you can actually. I'm just having a quick look.
Because I'm just wondering how you would play poker multiplayer on that.
Well, it's not poker. It's against the house, so it's blackjack.
Yeah, but it's had Texas Hold'em. It did have poker. I've just seen a trailer for poker, so I'm watching it all at the moment.
Let's have a quick look at that.
Yeah,
Let me have a quick look, mate.
I'm just wondering. I know there's a lot of games. You're not going to be able to talk about them all, but
well, it's 51.
It's got bowling. I'm actually. This looks awesome.
Billions! Yeah, he's on. Oh, there is an online mode. It's play with friends or play with anyone.
Oh,
so
it's got golf.
There you go.
Oh, I might pick this up. This looks awesome.
Yeah, I think it was on special, third off online on the Switch. It might be offline now, but you might be able to pick it off quite cheap.
This would be a good one to play with the missus.
Yeah. Massive arguments.
Well, the good thing is you can put it, with the Switch, you can put it on the TV to play a lot of these games,
Yeah.
Fishing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Slot cars, the Sky Electrics. Oh, wow.
There's a shooting game as well. I don't know. It's all sorts of little mini games. It's good old shovelware that Nintendo does best.
Yeah.
But looks good, man. Six ball puzzle. What's that? I never played that yet. Oh, cool, man.
Solitaire.
So yeah, check it out.
Yeah, man, looks good.
Cool. I booted up my Vita the other day. and I'm not sure why I did that. I don't know, but a long time ago, I almost finished Persona 4 Golden. Almost did. Long story short, I got all the way to the end boss and spent the next hour and a half trying to kill the fucker, and then failed and then gave up completely. And never actually. I know who the murderer is. Let's just say that. But then it's kind of nagged on me for a little bit. So I had this brilliant idea. I'll go onto the Switch. I was going to have a quick look on the Switch store, not the Switch store, the Vita store, and they've got Persona 4 Golden there for $7.99 download. So I bought a copy.
Okay. The Switch, yeah. So the Vita is still a great system. I would say it's still worth picking up now. It's
there are actually kind of like limited amounts of them going around now because there's a lot of collectors and people picking them up because they've just realised what a great machine it is, and knowing that obviously I think physical production has now ceased for the system.
Yeah.
So like the ones that are out there in the wild is all that there is now.
Yep.
So you are getting a lot of people that are sort of like definitely like constantly see people on my Twitter like looking out for them for certain prices and stuff. And obviously with the original version being like the most highly sought because of the OLED.
Yeah.
It's
well,
the OLED version.
If anyone wants to give me 500 quid for it, I might be considered.
World's grade for PS5.
Yeah. Straight swap. Easy. So yeah, I picked up and I've started grinding my dudes again. So the idea is that I'll grind my dudes for a bit, become stupidly overpowered, and cakewalk the end boss. So that's the plan. So I'll do that on and off. It's going to be my little project on and off for the next couple of weeks or 3-4 weeks or so, rather than rush it and repeat, because I know these games are an absolute slog. I thought I'd do that, and and then I might do a new game plus. You never know. It's one of these things. And also, and then I went back also, and I started playing some Persona 4 Arena on the Xbox as well.
Oh, what a game! What a game!
It's hard. It's tricky. But it's stylized. It's
apart from the sequel, which was fucking irritating.
What was that? The
one where they removed the Japanese voice option and it was all in complete dub-y English, and I couldn't. I pushed start and got an achievement straight away and fucking flipped out. So I own it, but it's literally in my pile of shame for life. Like I will never put that on again. I just can't, because the only way around it is to just mute all audio, bar the music, and it just feels completely fucking odd to play. I can't deal with that. Welcome to the no.
Yeah, so
they are not the voices I've grown up with the anime and such. So,
oh well.
Oh, so old now, 8 years old. From 2012. This video I've just found.
Yeah. Or if you really want to play with those characters, just get a BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, because most of them are in that.
Yep.
Oh, really?
Along with characters from, well, obviously BlazBlue, Under Night in Birth, and I think a few other weird franchises. No one from Guilty Gear though, which is strange, but I think it's because they use different sprites and stuff for it. So I think it's mainly just the BlazBlue team's work or the BlazBlue devs.
Yeah.
Characters that went into it.
I mean, I never finished Persona 4 Golden, and I actually bought a copy on Steam when it came out last year, and
never played
That's the best version. That is the ultimate version of that game because it actually has Japanese audio, whereas the original game didn't.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, I need to find time to play it. But, I last played it in June last year. That's the date it came out, I think. So I need to actually play the bloody thing. Let's just find
out. I'm surprised actually because I was expecting it to get ported to the Switch or something else, like that version.
Yeah,
but as of yet, it's only the PC that has that edition.
Yeah, it's weird because it'd be perfect on the Switch.
There
we go.
Maybe it's a licensing issue, I'd imagine, because obviously there's a lot of people that want Persona 5 on the Switch, but it's still literally just PlayStation.
Yeah. Cool. Anything else, Dan?
I I think that is it. Oh, there was one other thing which might be interesting to some people. I did have a laugh at it. There's a demo on the Switch site called Wrestling Empire. It was
Wrestling Empire.
Yeah. It's a. I thought I'd just briefly mention. I saw I think Chris Scullion tweet about it. He's a guy who used to work for Nintendo Magazine on Twitter, and it's well worth a check. It's about 20 quid, but it's a one-man band. You know all these shitty wrestling games that's been coming out recently. This is a
awful, mate.
Well, is it like backyard wrestling on the?
Yeah, it's done in the. Well, it's done in the style of an N64 wrestling game, but it's a guy who's basically it's a one guy has made this all by himself. There's about 350 different wrestlers in it, all of them approximations of the real thing. The AI is appalling, but you can just see when I was playing it, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. You can actually switch control, so you can actually start controlling the wrestler, the referee as well. So the referee can start controlling
awesome.
it. It's basically a complete clusterfuck.
It sounds funny though.
It is. It's an absolute car crash mess. There's tons. I mean, if you look at it, I mean, there's a bit. I couldn't play it on the demo, but apparently you can have at least 30 wrestlers in the ring at the same time during a Royal Rumble style event.
Wow, that's pretty awesome.
There's a story mode where you in the backstage area, some dodgy bloke, and you can buy dodgy steroids of a dodgy bloke and shit like that. And it's just a love letter to these cheesy N64 wrestling games.
It looks
back
like
in
a
the
64 game. The crowd look like cardboard cutouts.
Yeah,
but
I think I've got my eye on this one. If it goes on sale, I might just pick it up. But I think 20 quid for it at the moment may be a little bit too much. It's something I probably would only play on my own. But to me, it looks like the ideal party game. I mean, look, there's a mode. How many bloody characters are in there? I mean, when you just try it out, when you play it, some of it's intuitive, other stuff isn't. It's just but the thing is, it's fun. So have a look. Top tip of the week.
All right, nice one. Okay, Darren.
Well, after Dan, what I've played is going to be extremely short and pretty boring, I'd imagine, because it's roughly what I've been talking about for the last couple of weeks still.
Cyberpunk?
Yeah, pretty much Cyberpunk, still plodding on with that for the moment. Had a slight possible glitch the last time I played it, so I haven't played it for a couple of days, where I did one of the NCPD calls or whatever it is, where you're going to do the gangs in the area or whatever it is, and you interact with the item to complete it. So you interact with the item, it completes the thing, and you get your payment come through, but it's still on my map as though I haven't done it. So I was like, right, I've got to save just before I interacted with that. So yeah, so I've just thought I'll leave that for the moment and go back to that. But I think this week I've put about another 25 hours into Valhalla.
Awesome.
So I'm still sort of plodding on with that. Obviously completed one of the arcs where the storyline really starts to ramp up. We shall say, as a sort of like specific person of historical importance in this country is involved in the story.
Yeah.
And I was quite happy with his portrayal because he was known as being kind of like that.
Nice.
In a sense. Like he wasn't a very healthy sort of like big old person. He was supposed to be quite frail and stuff. So yeah, that was cool. Obviously, other twists with a character. I was like, oh, this character's quite interesting, and then it's like, oh, backstabbed. Brilliant.
Yes, so, I love us. And that's one of the things I love about AC Valhalla is there's a lot of plot twists within the storyline of the game, which keep you hooked. You know, when I was playing it, the thing that kept me playing mostly was I just wanted to know what happened next in the story. And you know, it's I mean, it was my game of the year, so how highly I regard it. It's just a fantastic game, and I know there's quite a few people listening who haven't actually played this yet, and I would recommend checking it out. It is really fucking awesome.
It's a beautiful looking game as well, so it
Yeah.
is a nice showcase game if you've got like a Pro or an X or either of the two newer systems.
Yeah.
Sort of thing, or
100%,
PC,
100%.
etc.
Yeah.
So yeah, just like hammering through that. The character interactions again were pretty cool, where I've been having sort of like normal sort of conversations
Yep.
with people, and you start to see, well, although you're controlling it, you kind of start to see a more compassion in your character to a degree, rather than just like the usual sort of like Viking rage mode that you kind of had in one of the quests beforehand.
Yeah.
Where obviously, like I said, that previous one, you kind of get really pissed off and lose it quite a lot during that arc, as it were. And now I'm sort of like in the London arc and doing that, and things got very violent in that arc very quickly. So yeah, I'm still like, I'd say, how far through the game would you say I was, considering I'm doing them by power level for each area, and I'm now in
I
London.
don't know, mate, because the moment you bloody play the game, amount of, because you take it really slow, so
Yeah, I'm 97 hours now, and I just started. Well, I'm about partway through London arc,
yeah,
which I
I mean,
think's the fourth area arc that I've gone to.
yeah, so you've got quite a lot of areas left on the map, right? I'm just trying to think back to it.
About 6, I think. Plus the
You've got
second half,
ages.
plus the second half of obviously the other area, and I still haven't been to the other area either.
Yeah, you've got shitloads,
So,
mate.
oh, good. So I still don't know how some people have gone through this in like 50 hours.
Well, I completed in just
Like,
over 60, mate. So
yeah, do you tactically go in to missions to sneak about, or do you just go in fucking like a bull in a china shop, killing
I'll just
everything?
go in head first, mate. I'll just go
Yeah.
straight in, fucking just fuck everyone up.
I
Job
like
done.
doing the sneaky, waiting for guards to go on their patrols and be like, "Come on, you can't move, go around that corner, whistle," all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's just generally, like I say, like 97 hours and stuff. So, but still really enjoying enjoying where the story's going and where the characters are heading and stuff.
Yeah.
And as the real sort of story is evolving, shall we say?
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Also, one thing I will shout out to as well. Are you must have been tempted at some point, even though I wouldn't wait for me, but like doing a blowout on this game?
yeah, I would love to, because I know actually Elliot's been wanting to do a spoilerific blowout, but I just haven't got around to it, mate. I would love to. I would really, really love
Yeah,
to.
because even aside from obviously the quests or the episodic arcs that happen in each of the areas, every time I seem to go back to the base or like my main camp, there's quests there for
Yeah.
like my residents and stuff, and some of them are mad.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
will say, one of them involves drugs,
Yeah.
and my character was giggling and running around talking to animals and stuff, and I just couldn't stop laughing. And I love it because it goes, all the skies going psychedelic and weird, and I love all of that aspect with those games when things kind of go off of out the normality path and into like otherworldly weird shit,
Yeah.
sort of a thing. But yeah, bar that, just Final Fantasy still,
Mhm.
on and off pretty
Yeah.
much, and a bit of Fortnite with my mate Goose, really,
Yeah.
and sort of like waiting for new stuff. Although with the way I'm going through games at the moment and the other games still on my backlog, like I've still got plenty to play for a long old time, really.
Yeah, it's good, man. It's a good place to be, isn't it? There's plenty of games to play. I mean, as I say, my backlog is huge as well. It's just I don't know. I mean, you always have different kind of moods, right? And I'm in kind of one of those moods where I can't stick to one game at the moment. I'm just struggling to do that, and I'm just trying to
Yeah,
find
I
something to
change.
really
It's like
stick
I'll have
into.
2 or 3 days where I'll do like 4 or 5 hour stints on Cyberpunk,
Yeah,
and then I'll
yeah,
switch to Valhalla for 4 or 5 days,
yeah.
and then I'll go back to Cyberpunk for 4 or 5 days, and just sort
Mhm.
of alternate them like that. so you kind of don't get too much, and you don't get sort of like a bit sick. And each time you go back to said game, you're always like, oh yeah, wow, I forgot. Yeah, this is stunning.
Yeah, definitely.
I just play loads of shit.
Well, we know that.
Smorgasbord of nonsense. There's anything, pick and choose, job done.
Well, I will say, like, I know a lot of people usually moan about games that take a long old time to finish or complete or go through, but like this has been the perfect year for those games, to be honest, because there's a lot of people out there with hardly fuck all to do.
Exactly. There was an interesting article I've
seen.
Well, the interesting article going around that gaming is a lifesaver in lockdown for adults and children. So take a bit of that, naysayers. It's perfectly fine.
I'd even say so, just along in the social aspect.
Yeah.
Well, you say
it does wonders. Like when I log in the evening and I just chat to people in party chat and stuff, or just talk to people in the afternoon if they're online or whatever. It's all communication and stuff. So you're not just cut off from everything.
Yeah, 100% agree with that. I mean, the thing is, I've found the last year or so, I don't know if it's because of the times I get online, I've really struggled to find people to play the games that I want to play, you know, but I always see you in party chat, Darren. So it's it's strange. It's different for different people, I suppose.
Yeah, that's it. That's pretty much me done. There was some slight bit of news about the Final Fantasy event, because originally they were going to be holding an event at the beginning of February, which I think was to pretty much announce the next expansion, and then after which they were the next expansion or the
next
event?
Expansion.
I've got no idea. It hasn't been revealed yet.
Oh,
but we pretty much worked out it's to do with Garlemald, basically. Looks like it's moving into the end game phase, shall we say.
Yeah.
I don't really want to say too much because you're still not caught up on sort of story stuff.
Yeah, I was actually contemplating resubscribing to it today because I just kind of in that mode. But
I'd give it a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Like wait for the next patch after, sort of a thing. Like the next big patch, I'd say. Not the next smaller patch, because that will just be like a relic quest thing or whatnot. But yeah, they were going to do the announcement for the next expansion, obviously, because they couldn't do the live events, which I'm gutted about because it was coming back to London this year.
Yeah.
So that would have been a definite attend. And in fact, by now we would already know what the next expansion is, because the Vegas one would have already happened, I believe, by now.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were going to have a 14-hour live stream afterwards as well.
14?
Yeah, it's just because of the Final Fantasy 14. They do it before. It's usually like a bit of a laugh. They get all the devs in, sort of like other production teams in, and they just have a typical laugh and muck around doing stuff in the games and weird events and such, and little panels and talks with voice actors and other music artists over there they work with every now and again.
That's cool.
That's been cancelled because Japan's gone into kind of another lockdown recently because they've had a spike in cases. So no one's too sure whether the announcement is still going to go ahead or not, but the actual 14-hour stream's been postponed anyway.
That's annoying. But hey ho, it's the world we're living in at the moment.
Yeah, that's it. You can't really commit to anything because you don't know what's going to go on, like which countries are next to go into lockdown and all the rest of it, especially with these like new strains and that apparently doing the rounds.
Yeah. Cool. Is that all you played, Darren?
Yeah, it's pretty much it. Yeah, sorted.
Right, I've been playing a few games. I've been in one of those modes where I just need to chop and change, which has been a little bit annoying because I want to get my hit. I want to get stuck into something. I've been playing quite a bit of Yakuza Like a Dragon still. I've put 28 hours into it now. And I'm not even halfway into the game. I think there's like 18 chapters or something, and I'm on like chapter 7. So not even halfway yet. And I'm really enjoying it, but it's taken me a lot longer to get through because I got it for Christmas on the Xbox, and I'll get less gaming time on my consoles downstairs than I do on my PC. Because obviously the kids, are watching, Blippi or some other cartoon or whatever on the
Blippi.
TV during the day, and then in the evening it's like, I don't know. Recently in the evening I've not really gamed a lot. I've been just because I've been tired because obviously with kids you get woken up in the night and stuff. I've just wanting to vegetate. So I've been spending my evenings watching a lot of Vikings.
Bet you have.
I have because
Mm-hmm.
obviously finished Assassin's Creed and I was still in that zone, so I've been watching Vikings and we're on season 4 now, and we only started watching it a couple of weeks ago, so we've been banging it out. Yeah, really enjoying it. But anyway, back to Shenmue. I've got Shenmue on the mind. Yakuza 7. I'm not going to talk about it loads because I talked about it a lot last week. I'm still really, really enjoying it. It's crazy. The main story's got a lot of twists and turns, and a lot of cool stuff has happened recently. There's love and betrayal and all this sort of stuff. Some crazy side quests, and yeah, I'm really loving it. And if you're into crazy Japanesey, I would say check it out. That's all I really want to say about it. To be honest, I don't want to bang on about it too much. So.
Oh yeah, it's something. It just reminded me of some weird thing I saw in the news recently. Apparently, on certain games on the PlayStation, Japanese is considered like an abusive word, and it won't allow you to post it.
What? What?
What are
Just
you on
bizarre.
about?
I'm sure it's because it contains Jap, which some people consider as being like a derogatory slang term for someone who's Japanese.
Okay.
But yeah, I saw a few posts on Twitter where people were talking about, like, I tried to post this up and like apparently I've got to remove offensive language.
Right.
Weird.
I've got my characters saying knob cheese and Animal Crossing, so
well, Nintendo are the ones now, aren't they, that basically like just let the ratings board do their actual job.
Well, we'll see.
Rather than trying to step in and be the authority.
Yeah. But anyway, Yakuza 7 is awesome and I highly recommend it. I'm going to move on to my next game. I bought a new game this week, guys. And I've got a huge backlog, but I couldn't stop myself. This game was on sale.
I know you couldn't. I know exactly what this is.
It's actually...
Someone tempted you, didn't they?
Yeah, who was that?
I think it was
Nikki, wasn't it?
I think it was Nikki. It was definitely Nikki. Yeah,
it was Nikki. So, funnily enough, this game I'm going to put on screen in a minute. It's renowned as one of the best JRPGs on the PlayStation 1, and I never played it on the PS1. And then about 13 years ago, maybe 12 years ago, I was talking to Jet Zero, who's a member of our community. I remember this well, and we were talking about JRPGs. He was like, "Oh, have you ever played this?" And I was like, he said, "Oh, it's amazing, you got to get it." So I actually bought it, the PS1 disc. It cost me like 50 quid. And then I still never played it because I was just so busy playing other games. And then obviously...
Do you have it still on disc?
I still have it on disc. I still have it. Pristine. Anyway.
That?
No, I'll keep it. But then it came out on the PC and the Switch. I actually managed to acquire a copy on the PC.
I know what you're on about now.
But I never played it, and then it went on sale on the Nintendo Switch. Thanks to Nikki. Hey, Jet's actually listening. How cool is that? I'm telling the story, and he's here. Anyway, so it actually went on sale this week on the Nintendo Switch. I thought, you know what? That'd be a perfect game to play on the Switch while I'm sitting downstairs, and say if the kids are being quiet.
You got a baby on one knee. You got another toddler tied up in the corner.
Yeah, that's it. And then watch it. And then you know, and they're glued to the TV. I can whip out the Switch and play some games. So that game anyway is Grandia HD Remaster. Now this only came out on the PC and the Switch. The remaster, it's not come out on any other system, which is really frustrating. But anyway, so I picked this up. So it's actually Grandia 1 and 2 HD Remaster, and it was reduced to 17 quid for both games. And I think that's quite a good value.
I'd actually played the second game on the Dreamcast. It was the Dreamcast that came out, wasn't it?
I think it came out on a few systems, and Dreamcast was one of them. Yeah,
I did actually play it. I don't think I finished it though.
Hmm.
It was, but then I sold it stupidly because it's worth an absolute packet now.
Yeah.
But you know, hindsight and all that, and obviously being poor at the time, you do tend to flog your wares when you need to go down the pub.
Out.
Yeah, get rid of that. Oh no. So yeah. Don't. But yeah, I vaguely remember it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, so I've not played. Obviously, I want to play them in order. So I've actually started the original game. Played it on the Switch. I've only played about 2 or 3 hours of it. I was just sitting, and the only reason I stopped playing is because the Switch battery was running low, so I had to dock it, and then obviously the kids were watching TV, so I couldn't play anymore. But I was really enjoying because, in my humble opinion, the PS1 had the greatest JRPGs of all time. I don't actually think any system since then has beaten the amount of quality JRPGs that have come out on any other system.
There was loads. There was loads. Like
there was a lot
obviously
on the PS1.
Final Fantasy, Xenogears,
Breath of
Grandia,
Fire.
Yeah.
You know, loads of Alundra's another one that I
Battle,
loved.
Tactics Ogre, all that.
Yeah. So many great games, and I missed this one. I'm so gutted that I missed it. I missed out on it, but I get to play it now, all fresh, which is awesome because I'm actually a member of a JRPG group on Facebook, and everyone's just banging on about this all the bloody time. So I was like, right, I have to play it, and you know, it's very traditional, and what I like about it so far is it, you know, you start off as this kid, and it eases you into the story gradually. You're in this town, and you're doing some stuff, you know, as kids do, and then you go to and you're mates with this dude who runs a museum, and then you go off to this dig site, and you meet a colourful cast of characters. But there's a really the battle system's really cool, and I've not dug into it that much because as I say, I'm very early on in the game, and I think there's a lot more to come out of the battle system. But it's renowned as being the best turn-based battle mechanics in any JRPG, which is what I'm really looking forward to digging into because I love turn-based battle systems. Since playing the
You
original.
haven't tried I still my favourite turn-based battle system, possibly still Xenogears.
I've not played that either, so that's another
Yeah,
one on the list.
it basically, when you used to do attacks, you'd have a certain amount of energy to spend, and you'd have like fighting game combos, and each punch or kick would take up a certain amount of energy. And if you completed certain combinations, they'd end with like a finisher move, which would be like almost like a limit break. It was just really cool. I really liked that sort of the way they did that. But yeah, sorry, Karen.
Yeah, so what I'm liking about because I've seen the trailers for Grandia 2 as well, and I've not obviously played it, but what I'm liking about the original one is that art style. It still holds up today, I feel. I mean, it was a PS1 game, but it doesn't really have that really shitty kind of PS1 graphics, if you know what I mean. It's
I know.
You know, it's isometric style, and it has a very cartoony.
Pixelated.
It's quite cartoony, the art style, to be honest, and it looks quite nice. I mean, the backgrounds are you can tell, very PS1, but the characters especially look very nice. You know, that cartoon style, and yeah, I'm not, as I say, I'm very early on in it, but a big shout out to Nikki for letting me know it was on sale on the Switch, because of actually, you know, I'm not just a PC gamer. I actually feel that, you know, the only reason I've been playing this is because I picked it up on the Switch. You know, it's given me the opportunity to get stuck into it, because I've been trying to play a little bit of Secret of Mana as well on the Switch, but because everyone says it's it's one of the greatest RPGs of all time. I just can't get into it though. It feels a little bit like Zelda, but not as good as Zelda, if that makes sense. It has that battle system where it's that Zelda-ish battle system, and I think it depends on the mood really. I grew up on JRPGs and that turn-based battle system, so I find it a little bit of a struggle to play those older games with different battle systems, to be honest. So, but the Secret of Mana is a game that I will be trying to get into again, but at the minute I'm all about Grandia now on the Switch. That's going to be my main Switch game for a while.
Good.
So big thanks to Jet again for recommending that to me all those years ago, and I'm finally playing it. So big thank you to Nikki for letting me know it was on sale. So,
good.
Yeah, man. What else have I been playing? Okay, I finished a game this week, actually. Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Finished it. Finally completed it, mate. Really enjoyed it. It's taken me over a year or so to actually finish it. It's one of those games I kept on going back to every now and again.
They kept on patching it though, didn't they?
Yeah, they kept on patching it.
It's had multiple patches, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's changed so much since.
If I say it's not the same game you started, you haven't really finished it. You've basically finished the
finished product.
Yeah.
Well,
is it the finished product? Is it?
Well, it is, but so there's a few things about this, right? I mainly played it in co-op, but then I finished it in single player. And the main reason I finished it in single player was because, like Wildlands, they finally patched in having free AI companions. And that's actually made it a lot better because you can send your drone out and mark up enemies and do your sync shots and all the stuff I loved about Wildlands. That wasn't in the game initially in Breakpoint, and that was a little bit of a downer. So one little annoying thing is, I mean, the main campaign was cool, but they do this annoying Ubisoft thing with their live service games where they've added extra episodic content, but you can only play it if you buy the season pass. Season pass is 35 quid. Fuck off, I'm not paying that. But they let
there's even, I'm sure there's missions like that are only around for a set amount of time as well.
Yeah, so they do the time limited ones, but what they do, right, to try and a little bit like a drug dealer, right? They have missions on the map which you can do, and then it's like, oh yeah, on your mission map, it's like, oh, you can't do the next load of missions unless you buy the season pass.
Oh, they can fuck off.
Yeah,
that's
so
disgusting.
I was just like, you bastards! I can't believe that.
They were doing that. What was it? They were doing it during an Assassin's Creed game, weren't they? Whereby, I remember a quest wasn't available unless you bought the season pass, and the fucking NPC player told you fucking that.
That was just Dragon Age, wasn't it? Remember
was it Dragon Age?
Yeah, it was
Dragon
Age.
Sorry.
It was an EA game. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
I
think, to be honest though, Ubisoft have moved away from that kind of crap now. Like, to be honest, I think they got quite a lot of backlash. Obviously, how that game launched, and obviously some of their tactics from it, and people were starting to sort of be like, "Oh, here we go, typical," like you said, typical Ubisoft shit again, with their old crap. And I noticed they kind of didn't really do that with obviously most of their recent stuff.
Yeah.
They obviously still have the microtransaction stuff there, but there are ways to get around it, although it's time consuming.
Yeah, but it's like in Ghost Recon.
They've even moved away from the pay us more money and play the game before everyone else. Because I remember AC Odyssey had that, but Valhalla didn't.
Yeah. But it's just a frustrating thing about Breakpoint, mate, is the game is massive anyway, but then they dot these extra missions on the map, and it feels like you can't actually properly complete the story unless you buy the season pass, which is just very frustrating. And I know they've stopped that in the recent games because, like, AC Valhalla isn't like that. Immortals Phoenix Rising, I know, it's just a single player experience with none of this added bollocks.
They have the season pass stuff, but they don't seem to have the other stuff that's just overreaching from beyond that.
Yeah. But yeah, just going back to some positives, graphics stunning. They've done some really good updates, so it performs a lot better on the PC now. It's just very smooth, and it is a good game. But it's the thing about Ghost Recon is the older the like the Graw series, Advanced Warfighter series. They're kind of they moved away from that style to this open worldy style, and yeah, the games are good, but they're missing that original Tom Clancy magic, if that makes sense. It's not the Ghost Recon games that I remember of old. They've made them a lot easier. It's open world, and the Ghost Recon games that I'm kind of clamoring for are that single player experience where it's really really difficult, and then a really awesome multiplayer. Now, the versus multiplayer in Breakpoint is actually really, really good because it is kind of that old school. It's 4v4. And using your drones and all that, but it's not very popular. And again, it's lost that magic of the older games, and I don't think we're ever going to get back to that.
I
But
think it's no, I don't think you are, because obviously going back into that, like going to obviously your Graws.
yeah.
Like, we'll ignore the one that came after, which basically turned the game into like a run and gun cover
Yeah.
shooter. But when you looked at your Graws, everyone I knew who bought that pretty much bought it for the multiplayer and
Yes.
just played through because the campaign was like set missions, set levels. It wasn't open world or any of that. It was just a story you played through,
Yeah.
and it used to take you about 8, 9, 10 hours. So you'd complete the story, and then it was
Yeah.
just multiplayer, and the new
Yeah.
Graws aren't that. It's like the multiplayer's like a side fault after
Yeah.
the open world aspect of the game. But I think now they've gone that way with that series, they're going to stick with that,
Yeah, of course they
and the
are.
multiplayer
Yeah.
is still
Yeah.
going to be a side fault, which is
Yeah.
strange considering. Look at how popular, obviously, Rainbow Siege is. When they moved that, they shifted that away from the story and back to just being a multiplayer
Yeah.
focused game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, and that's a huge esports game, and that's like what, 4-on-4?
Yeah,
Is it
4, 4,
4-on-4 or
4.
3-on-3?
No, it's not
I
3
think
on
it's
3.
4-on-4.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you think like how big like they could make a proper Ghost Recon tactical team shooter,
Yeah.
cooperative, or should I say competitive,
Yeah.
like with sort of like 8 aside
Yeah. I
or
think
whatever it is,
actually it's
and
5
different people
aside
playing
on.
different classes and roles.
It's 5 aside. Sorry, I just had to double check because I wasn't. It's 5 on each team on Siege. Just wanted to get that right. Yeah. Sorry, and I should know that because I play it quite well. I haven't played it for a while, but I used to play it quite a lot. Yeah. Might just go back and
So
play it.
yeah,
Skip
it'd
over
be
the
nice if they
gameplay.
did actually go back into the like whole
Mm.
aspect, but then would they be better off doing that as a spin-off game
I don't know
rather
now.
than a
It's
mainstream title?
I don't know. It's a shame because on
But
the
yeah,
Grawl
sorry,
games,
carry on.
you play it on the multi, and you could have your drone fly around. Or you could switch between looking at all your teammates in that little camera view, and it was just, I don't know.
That's
I
where all the content was as well. There wasn't single player content for the Ghost Recon games. It was all multiplayer maps and
yeah, it was great.
extra guns and stuff. And like I seem to remember, there was like almost 60 maps or something in Graw 2 that you could choose, and you could do obviously your team battle, your solo hunts, your what do you call it? Was it terrorist hunt?
Yeah,
And there was like
yeah,
little campaign maps as well that
yeah,
had missions on them,
yeah.
all co-op, and you could go in with up to what was it, 32
It was
players?
something
Was it?
ridiculous, and and the amount of maps it had. I think it got up to like 40 maps or something ridiculous that you could choose from, and they were all
Yeah, no,
really,
it's like
really
almost
good.
60 odd,
Yeah, I mean that's
right?
fucking loads. It's nuts.
Because they ended up sticking a load of the favourite, like popular maps from the original Graw into the
That's right.
second game,
Yep, yep, yep.
and you could tweak so many options in that game.
Mm-hmm.
You could disable drones. You could turn off certain weapons. Because I know when I used to play it with people, we'd just go into games and straight away you'd hear someone go, turn off the fucking camera gun. You know, you just used to stick it up above your head out of the grass and stuff, and
Yeah.
all around the corner, and you could just look round the corner with it and shoot people.
Mm.
It was a bit cheese, but
I can still,
But
like,
yeah.
when I think about it, like, the first thing that pops into my mind is that menu music. You know, because I used to spend hours in that menu. just
Oh,
just trying to get into games with my mates.
not necessarily even that. You'd
Yeah.
come out of a game or something, and you'd have someone in the party just going, "I'm just going to quickly roll one up.
Yeah.
Give us 10 minutes," like
Yeah.
sort of thing, and everyone would just be sitting there chatting in the lobby.
Yeah. Oh, good
Sort of a
times,
thing.
man. Good times.
Like
Right.
this was back before party chat, so like
Yeah, it was all game chat,
people
wasn't it?
just
Yeah,
use everyone would just turn on their computer, stick on Graw, and it'd be like, "Who's online?" And you just jump into the lobby with all of your mates in.
yeah, yeah.
And like at times there were so many of us playing that game in the group of people we used to hang around and chat to, like obviously pre-podcast days for myself, we'd have to open another lobby up.
Yeah.
So we'd have 2 lobbies on the go of different people.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, so good. Right, so
And
move on
like
to the next
all
game.
like 4 or 5 hour sessions, mate. Yeah, sorry, carry
I
on.
miss having those long sessions. I know we're reminiscing about the good old times of Ghost Recon. Oh, one of my favourite games of all time. Okay, let's move on. Okay, I've only been... Oh, fucking hell, I've just looked. Okay, I started a new game this week. Death Stranding.
Ooh.
You started this last week, I'm sure of it.
No.
Yeah, it's game of the year last week.
Yeah, it was Game of the Year last week, mate.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so...
Or did you just mention it last week that you'd started it?
No, I was mentioning I was going to start it.
Ah.
Yeah, so I started it, and the only reason I started it was because it's apparently it's got a bit of a tie in with Cyberpunk, isn't it? So I was like, oh yeah, fuck this. Anyway,
Well, only because he is in Cyberpunk.
yeah, I
like
know, and it
Kojima.
made me think. Oh, and it was on sale on Steam, so I was like, right, I'm going to pick this up. So one thing I'm going to say is it has the Hideo Kojima long-assed fucking cutscenes.
Which are awesome. Which are fucking awesome.
Which
But
do set the scene, and I have to say, it is so... This game is beautiful. The graphics are absolutely stunning, and it runs smooth as butter.
Smooth as butter.
Smooth as butter. Which is
kind of
good.
butter,
I
though?
don't feel you need a high-end PC to play this, because
Depends what kind of butter you buy, mate.
I
Some
can't
butter can be
believe it's not butter, mate.
Okay. Well, that's
Can't
not.
butter.
I actually
not
do
butter,
not know what I buy. The missus buys stuff. I just eat it.
Veggie butter is called Marge.
As long
mate.
as it's not Marge, it's fine.
It will be Marge.
Yeah. Anyway.
Go for it.
So I played a good few hours of this actually, and it starts off quite slow because there's a lot of cutscenes, there's a lot of finding out about the story, and I still don't really get it that much. It's weird as fuck. Have any of you two played it?
I have, yeah.
Yeah.
How much of it have you played?
About half of it, I think I got through.
Yeah, about a third
before
of it.
getting sidetracked.
So
It
a lot of
wasn't
people
'cause it was
say
bad,
this.
I just got sidetracked.
Same, yeah. I got sidetracked too.
So quite a few people I've spoken to have said, "Oh, I got about halfway through the game and I just got bored." I was like, "Oh, okay."
I didn't get bored. I just had other games came out.
It's fair enough, but it's beautiful. I have to say, and just after you get through those cutscenes and you're just roaming the world, I mean, it feels quite relaxing at times. You got the music playing and you're just walking around, but then all of a sudden it's like it starts raining and you're like, oh shit. And I'll tell you what, it feels real. My hands are sweating.
It gets you on edge. It definitely fucking makes you paranoid quite a bit.
Yeah, so for people that don't know, it's hard to explain. There's like these things called BTs, and they're like ghost things or something.
Bloody tossers.
And yeah, okay. But it's like, right, you can't see them, but you got this baby attached to you, and it's called BB. And the BB, along with your suit, there's like a what's it, like a little satellite dish that flickers around, right, and it can sense these BTs. And so basically, it flashes faster and faster the closer you get to them, and then you might see like a black outline of them when you're getting close, and you got to like crouch down and walk really slow, and then if you get too close you need to hold your breath so they can't detect you, because if they do detect you, the ground below you goes black. Thank you, Luke Newcomb, for subscribing. Yeah,
God.
there's a black. It gets like black tar stuff below you, and these BTs are trying to suck you under the ground to make you one of these weird things. So you got to try and get out, and it's really, oh mate, it shits me up whenever it starts raining. I feel the pressure, but it's I'm really liking it. But it's one of those games you need to kind of dedicate a little bit of time to just try and understand. But there is one little annoyance I find of this is when you are loaded up quite a lot because basically you are a postman, uh, you know, but you can carry a lot of stuff on your back. But if you're carrying a lot of weight when you're walking or trying to jog around, it's like press R2 to shift your weight to the right, press L2 to shift your weight to the left. It's like constant. Just get sick of that shit. I wish there was
It's
an
like,
option to turn that off because it's just all the time. Yeah, you know what I mean. And then it's like
not really.
and then he's just he's so clumsy. He just fucking slips
He
around all the
he grunts a
time.
lot as well. Norman
Oh,
Reedus is grunting.
yeah, and it's
Just give him
just
some monster energy, which is it'll be fine.
yeah,
and the amount of time you have to go have a piss and a shower and shit.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, it's just I don't know. Hideo Kojima, you weird fucker.
Yeah, so it does get quite tedious with some of the stuff's a bit repetitive, but
It's just there, I think, as a little extra and a bonus thing, like half the stuff in the game. I think, like you can ignore a lot of, like you're saying, a lot of that sort of stuff.
it's just, I mean, my initial impressions. I mean, I've played like 3 or 4 hours of it, so I'm not obviously I haven't played as much as it is you guys, but
I want to get back into it.
As I say, it looks stunning. I'm glad it's come out on PC, so I can actually give this a bosh. And it's just, I don't really know what to make of it because it's just weird. It's so mind bending when you're
curio,
playing
for
it.
sure.
Do you know what it reminds me of? A very, very kind of low budget, kind of like sci-fi film.
Yeah,
high concept, but very kind of European to a degree as well. It's got that kind of a very, very weird kind of sci-fi premise. It doesn't make much sense. That will no doubt unveil itself slowly, but never fully at the end. So if you're expecting answers at the end of this game, I don't expect to find them. I really don't, because at the end, I fully expect the end of the game to be fully and utterly confused still, which is fine, you know.
Yeah, it's just the whole thing with the baby. It's just I find really weird.
Oh, how are you playing it? What kind of controller are you using on it?
Xbox controller.
Okay, on the PlayStation, the baby talks to you through the PlayStation 4 controller.
Oh, that's weird. Okay, that is weird.
It starts talking to you. You're like, when that first happened, I went, "Oh, yeah, I've got to turn that down. That is fucking creaky." Stop that.
Because you get to the point where you have to take him off and rock him and stuff to calm him down and stuff.
Yeah.
The other thing that I found quite interesting is obviously you've got the social aspect where kind of everyone's connected, so people can build bridges and ladders to help you traverse like hard terrain.
Yeah.
But whenever it rains, those structures degrade.
Yes.
So that's how the game refreshes itself over long periods. Like it will just have the rain degrade all the structures down until people put them back up again.
Yeah, but because it's weird, isn't it? Because it's like when it rains, it's the time fall and it speeds up time in that area, so it degrades stuff that the rain hits and makes the plants grow really fast. And I find that all really fascinating, but it's just I haven't got far enough into the story to really figure out what's going on, what's happened, and
I don't expect to, mate.
yeah, it's like it's just bizarre. But I love Hideo Kojima stuff, and it's a game that I've been wanting to check out for a while, and it's coming at the right time, really. And one of the reasons why I did want to check it out is because it actually got PC Gamers Game of the Year of 2020 as well. So it's obviously it's very highly regarded by that team, and they're usually pretty good at the reviews, unlike most outlets. So yeah, it's a game I'm going to stick with for a while, and I'm going to try not to give up on it like other people have, and
Like everything else you play.
of course I know, but yeah, it's interesting. Let's just say that. I look forward to talking about it again next week.
Okay, cool.
I think Stunty played quite a bit of it, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to very briefly mention a game I played with Sly Almond. Four Kings Casino. Now this is on the Xbox, but we played it together on Steam. And he fancied playing some poker with me. I have fond memories of playing poker games on the Xbox before, but this game's not very good. I'm just going to put it out there. It's a casino game, but it's like, you got slot machines, you can play tournament poker and all that, and it's just really weird how it's set out. Like the camera angles are just a bit wank. The graphics are a little bit shit. I mean, you can see it on the video now. It just looks a bit old.
It looks like Test Drive Unlimited 2, mate.
It does. It does. And that was a 360 game. It is the Test Drive Unlimited fucking casino as a separate game.
There's still rumours that's still on the cards for a possible reveal this year.
Yeah.
New Test Drive.
People queuing up for that one. Fuck it hell.
I will be.
Will you?
I'll be getting it day one.
I love
Darren,
Test Drive
mate.
too, man.
Yeah.
It's an awesome game.
Yeah. So I just want to briefly mention, if you're thinking of picking this up, it is free to play.
Okay. Who won though? Who won the poker?
I won the second game, and I got knocked out first in the first game.
Okay.
But yeah, it's not very good. So I'm just going to put it out there. Sorry, Elliot, but it's just a bit shit. Anyway, next, I played 2 more games. One is on Game Pass, and it's a little game called Monster Train. I'm not sure if this is on Game Pass on the Xbox. I've not looked, but it's definitely on Game Pass on PC because that's where I've been playing it. And it's really, really good. So if you like your deck building card games, it's a bit like Slay the Spire. I don't know if any of you guys checked that out when it came out.
I've heard of it.
Yep. So it's basically, this is a train that's going through hell, and you make different stops along the way. But when you are fighting, you get enemies that appear in all the different levels and in the train car, and they've got to destroy the furnace at the top. So you get loads of cards, and you've got to choose the correct cards to put your fighters down, to fight the enemies and the bosses that appear, and you get like magic cards to give you extra health and other various things. And it's just quite a relaxing game, and it's basically you just play until until you run out of life, and it's just a fun, relaxing game. Really, it's a really good deck building game. I really like it because it's you finish a fight, and then you might get to an upgrade place. You can choose which cards to upgrade, etc., and get to different cards, and it's just a really nice cartoony art style, and yeah, it is pretty fun. So it's on Game Pass, so you should check it out.
Nice.
Cool. Okay, last game I've been playing. Stunty will be happy with this. Cobra Kai, the video game. So I actually made a video on this on my Mark's Gaming Den YouTube channel. I did a review.
Oh.
Yeah, and I really like it. I thought it was going to be a really shit
tie-in game.
Yeah, and it's actually a lot of fun, and it's very challenging as well. So if you like your side-scrolling beat-em-ups with a challenge, this is the game for you. And if you're into Cobra Kai and Karate Kid, it's even better, right? So at the beginning of the game, you can choose between the 2 dojos. So it actually needs 2 playthroughs to actually complete the game properly. Because depending on which dojo you choose at the beginning, you only get the characters that in the TV show are in that dojo, part of that dojo, along with the senseis, which is pretty cool. And it's it's very arcadey. I mean, the graphics are very cartoony, and it's side-scrolling. You got punch and kick and jump, and you got special moves, which you start off with one special move. So you hold down the right or left trigger, and then it brings up the options for your normal face buttons, and then you can have special moves that regenerate over time. And and when you finish levels, you can get the option to go to the dojo, which is basically an upgrade screen. So you can choose, to spend your points that you're earning through playing the game to upgrade your current moves or to buy new moves for the different characters. So, it's got a lot of playability there because because you do get a lot of characters. So as you progress through the game, you unlock more characters, and you can tag them in whenever you want when you're playing the game, which is quite a cool feature, which I like a lot. It has 2-player co-op as well, but only local co-op, which is a little bit annoying because I think this would be perfect to play online co-op. But for some reason, when me and Peeps were talking about this the other day in party chat, was saying that there's been quite a few side-scrolling beat 'em ups with co-op that have come out recently, but they don't have any online co-op, which is a little bit of a shitter.
Maybe they just can't be asked with the net code or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Streets of Rage 4 has.
Yeah, we know, but you don't get any Chivos, do you? So Peeps was very upset when you don't get any Chivos playing it in co-op. But yeah, it's this is quite a cool game. I was actually quite surprised at how much it costs on the consoles because on Steam it's £16.
Yeah.
On the consoles it's 35 quid.
They can go they can go do one.
That's a lot of money, and there's no way is it worth 35 quid. No way. I mean, I'm raving about it. I'm saying it's good and all that, but it's an arcadey game. It's not worth that amount of money. It's I would say it's more of a budget title, and it's worth it if you're paying under 20 quid. But that £35 price mark is more reserved for your higher end Triple A games. But anyway, wait till it goes on sale if you want to play it on console.
Or Game Pass.
Or wait until it comes out on Game Pass. Yeah, it is a lot of fun, and I mean, I really love.
Can you play as Mr. Miyagi?
No, not Mr. Miyagi, but you can play as Daniel-san.
Yeah, that's not the same as Mr. Miyagi, is it?
I actually watched Karate Kid 2 and 3 today.
Oh man, Karate Kid 2's alright. Karate Kid 2's alright.
2's good, yeah. 3's
3 is cheesy as fuck. I was like, oh my god.
I haven't actually watched this Cobra Kai yet. I'll have to get into it, I think.
Oh dude, it is so good. Me and Mrs. were like, oh, this is going to be cheesy shit, but it is a little bit cheesy, but it's really well done. I mean,
I'm okay with cheesy.
I mean, we binged the whole of season 3 in 2 evenings. So
nice.
Yeah.
Well, as I said, there's at the moment the only thing I'm watching at the moment is Star Trek Discovery's finished for this time round. So, and obviously you've got One Division started now, so that's a weekly thing. And then there's nothing really else I'm watching at the moment.
You need to go into Cobra Kai then. I mean, each episode is only half an hour long, so.
Oh, that's fine. I don't mind half-hour shows. Nothing too long. Nothing outstays welcome. Don't you want that nonsense?
Yeah. So it's actually quite refreshing to have shows that are only half an hour long because everything else is hour-long episodes, and you're just like, oh man, that's a long time.
It's too much to ask for people. An hour long.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take a look.
So anyway, the Cobra Kai show is great, and the video game is a decent game spin-off of the show. Okay.
Cool.
Okay, I played one more game, I think.
I think that was the one more game, wasn't it?
That was my one more game. That's it. I played everything.
That's it. Bloody hell. Everything in the whole wide world.
Oh, I need to get on it. I need to play more games.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to double check. Yes, that is what I played. Oh, I played a little bit of Rocket League today as well. I just want to mention that.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that is it.
Run dry.
Run dry, yeah. Okay, we haven't actually had many questions this week, so if anyone who's watching in the Twitch chat wants to bang out a question, please put it in the chat and I'll read it out in a moment. Just want to double check the Discord. I'm in the wrong chat room. Windows Wipers Bob says, what game comes to mind that has a terrible ending? He says Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Ouch! Dude! The ending for that was great!
I haven't finished the game in ages. But anytime you finish any of your Street Fighters, the end mode on that, or It's really unsatisfying whatever happens or the end stories for that.
Street Fighter ending was Blanca Street Fighter 2. Old woman
Remind me.
shuffles up and he just does a low kick and you see the bracelet on the end and she's like, Jimmy, is that you, my son? And he just goes, woo, woo, and credits roll. Or you've got Zangief doing the Russian dance with Mikhail Gorbachev. So it's kind of take your pick, isn't it?
Oh, no. Yes, fair enough. I mean, they're quality, but yeah. I mean, the worst ones, I suppose, is whenever you put, in the arcade and you spend, I don't know, best part of 10 quid trying to get to the end of a fucking game, and it gives you this really shitty ending.
The princess in another castle.
Yeah. Oh man.
I would like to say Final Fantasy VII Remake ending was shite. I've said it.
There's probably an abundance. I've probably been on this podcast for years whinging about the ends of certain games. I just can't instantly think of any off the top of my head at the moment.
There wasn't much of an ending on... sorry.
The ending of Dead Island 2 was fucking terrible.
I don't even remember it. Yeah. It must be bad.
So the ending of Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity was non-existent. Okay. But yeah, endings of games, overrated.
I don't know. I've had a lot of good endings this past year, so I can't really think of anything apart from Final Fantasy VII Remake. Sorry, mate.
It's the journey to getting there, I guess, rather than the actual ending. That's what I'm interested in.
Yeah. Yeah, because I always find when you get to the end of a game, I feel quite sad. Sometimes I feel quite sad that it's over.
Yeah.
Like with Assassin's Creed Valhalla, I mean, I thought the ending for that, I disagree with Bob completely. I thought the ending was really good, but I felt great sadness when I finished that because it was the end of an epically long journey, pumping in all those hours in such a short space of time and really loving every minute of it.
Well, you'll have the DLC to look forward to, so...
Yeah.
Although, it's going to be weird because obviously the DLC for... I don't obviously know how the game ends, but technically, in Odyssey, when you finish the game, you're just left in the open world to carry on as you see fit. So continuing on with the story makes sense. Whereas if the story's going to come to a certain end, does that mean you may be playing as other characters in the DLC?
I'm not saying anything. I don't spoil it for you, mate, at all.
Yeah.
Any other answers, or shall I move on?
I can't remember, man. My memory's socked the shit. I'm old.
Yeah. Same here. Strokey McGinger in the Twitch chat says, "What games are we looking at finally completing during this lockdown?" For him, it's AC Valhalla and Hollow Knight, and perhaps Far Cry 5.
I want to get on to what's it called? Detroit. What's it called?
Beyond Human.
Become Human.
Detroit. Yeah, I want to finish that. I think that's my next game. I'm going to finish.
Brilliant game. Good choice.
I am quite a way through it, but I kind of left it, so it shouldn't take too long to pick up again. So that's my next task, I guess, in the PlayStation. And then I'll see. I've got Horizon Zero Dawn here, which I haven't loaded up yet, so I might give that a go.
Oh, that's a good 40, 50 hour plus game.
Okay. I might not go there straight away. I want something that's going to not take too long. That's my attention span these days.
That's fair enough.
Well, you've got Thingy out next month, haven't you?
What's that?
Ghosts and Goblins or whatever it is.
Yeah, that's a skill. That's a skill attack. That's going to be me pulling my fucking hair out. That is. I already know. I'm really looking at it, going, "Oh my god!"
And Persona Strikers. That's next month.
Persona Strikers, and and Mario 3D World as well. I've got that in pre-order with the even though I've got it on the Wii U, I've ordered it again because it's got the extra mode on it, Bowser's Fury, whatever.
I'm a mug. Going to be playing the Medium. That's out next week, isn't it?
I've stuck it on pre-download on Game Pass.
Okay.
I'm waiting for a physical copy, mate.
You'll be waiting a while.
Yeah, or if at all. But I've got plenty of stuff to play anyway, so it's their loss.
What's the medium? Is that the one where you've? I thought it was Xbox Series X exclusive. That one.
It is Xbox and PC.
Okay, fair enough.
So that's a spooky one, isn't it? Where there's like kind of a dark world. It kind of reminded me of Silent Hill a little bit in the trailer.
Oh yeah, I thought it was just a Series X only. That one.
It is.
I've heard
it is.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Series X, Series S, and PC.
Okay, so not the Xbox One then.
No.
Xbox One X.
I imagine that's to do with the parallel worlds and the loading.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
The reasoning.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, I can't play that then. So I won't be playing that.
Well, you might as well grab it.
Yeah,
so it's there.
Yeah, I've done
registered.
Just try and get your hands on the Series X, mate.
No, PlayStation 5 first, I think.
Fair enough. Get those exclusives.
What game are you actually after on the PS5 though that you haven't already played? Because you've already played Spider-Man.
I'm just a bit kind of bored and I want one.
Demon Souls? Will you pick up Demon Souls for it?
Basically, I've got a PlayStation 4 Slim, and to be honest with you, it's creaking a little bit.
Oh yeah, it will be.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and on top of that, I haven't got a external hard drive from it. I'm only operating on 500 gig. So the idea being, I know the PlayStation 5 hard drive's not huge.
You don't get much more than that.
Yeah, I know that, but I would probably also look to be getting a external hard drive just for the PlayStation 4 games, so I can just use that. So I've got a ton of those because of PlayStation Plus, and I've got PlayStation 4 games. So the idea is I'll build up that, and as always, my PlayStation will be my fighting games console. So I have, well, aside from some bits and bobs on the Switch, I guess, but that's my plan anyway.
Nice, awesome.
Because fighting games on the Xbox are fucking gash.
Yeah, agreed.
Well, Thingy was all right. Killer Instinct, I guess.
Killer Instinct's not. Killer Instinct's not good.
Oh man, come on. Killer Instinct's classic.
Nah, bollocks.
One.
Anyway.
So just talking about games that I would actually, obviously, after playing Grandia, I bought a game on Steam that I really would like to play, and it's another RPG that I missed out. Actually, in the PS2 era, which is Final Fantasy XII, The Zodiac Age. I've never played it. So
it's on Game Pass.
You did,
it's on
Game Pass. It out.
It's not on Game Pass, is it?
No, I don't know. Something's on Game Pass. Was it Final Fantasy? I was looking at. There's loads of Final Fantasy games on Game Pass.
It off. You're like 12.
He probably did.
Yeah,
I
did. I did. I played it for about an hour. If we want to get into it, I wanted a simple conversation, but I cussed it off back in the day. But because of the battle system, reminded me of Final Fantasy XI, like an MMO.
Yeah, it completely moved away from the turn.
But apparently,
traditional style.
I've read on the new updated version on the PC, they've tweaked a lot of the game, and obviously the story's meant to be amazing. So it's like, right, I'm gonna try and persevere. Well, actually start it and persevere with it if I can.
I know you can get it on the Switch.
They did bring it out on. Yeah, they brought it out on.
It's on everything. It's on everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've actually got a little list on my Steam account called games I want to play next. So I've got I made a little folder.
This is the most useless list ever because every single game's in there. You're never fucking gonna follow it, are you?
I've got 25 games in there.
You're not gonna play any of those.
Yeah, so
or that list is gonna keep growing and growing and growing.
Well, I've started Death Stranding, and also Grand Theft Auto just came out of that list recently. Okay. But the main ones I want to play, to be fair, is Final Fantasy XII and Final Fantasy VI. Because I never finished 6 either. So
get on it.
Yeah, man. So I've got a lot of games I want to rip through. Tales of Symphonia.
I wonder if Square are actually ever going to rethink about redoing 6, because I think outside 7, 6 is the next most beloved game in the series.
Well, 6, I mean, they did. So the version on PC has been slagged off shitloads because they updated the graphics on it and made it like the mobile phone port, and it looks awful. So there's some people have made some mods for it to make it the old school SNES
Pixel,
sprites. Yeah. So, and someone just mentioned Chat Strokey has just said as well, Kentucky Route Zero, which I have on my list, is meant to be amazing, and that's also on console. So if you are looking for a really cool game with a story, it's a bit weird, check out Kentucky Route Zero. I've only played 82 minutes of it. I wouldn't want to get into that proper. Yeah, so there's loads of games.
What's that about?
I'm going to have to go onto the store just to make sure I don't fuck this up. Just give me a second. A Twilight in Kentucky.
Someone farted.
It's a magical,
Oh shit! Did that come through?
Yep.
So Strokey's got some sweet. So anyway, can I read this without farts, please? It's a magical adventure game. It has 5 acts, featuring a haunting electronic score and a suite of hymns and bluegrass standards recorded by Bedquilt Ramblers. Rendered in a striking visual style that draws as much from theatre, film, and experimental electronic art as it does from the history of video games, this is a story of unpayable debts, abandoned futures, and the human drive to find community. Does that answer your question?
Not really, no. But hey, Bo, good stuff.
In a vague way.
Mm-hmm.
So the art style's quite cool. It's like this kind of side-scrolly type thing, but then you drive around to different places. And I haven't played it in 2 years, so I'm just trying to go from memory here. But it's just a game that's very highly renowned, so I would love to play it.
Cool.
Trying to find the time. Yeah. Cool. And it is on the Switch, apparently, so pick it up on the Switch, Dan. This came out in 2013 initially, it says here.
Wow.
But it's only they only just finished the last chapter in 2020, so just look at these pictures. It looks quite cool. Anyway, should we move on to the next? So Strokey just says the fifth act only just came out. So, yeah, I mean, look at that art style. It's awesome. It's lovely. It's beautiful. And then there's the map, and you like travel different states and places. Cool. Shall we move on to the next question?
Yeah, man.
Yep.
Clarky says, what do you think about Ubisoft taking on a Star Wars game? Not sure if you've had this question already.
Sort of. I think I did a raspberry noise.
It'll be interesting, but you are going from EA to Ubisoft, so you're still going to probably get monetization and stuff.
You got to be more positive.
Oh man, how can I be positive? It's Ubisoft.
Yeah, but look how shit the EA Star Wars games have been.
They've been alright.
I mean, the last one was
decent, just over monetized.
But those Battlefront games are wank. I'm sorry,
no,
but
they're not.
Wank.
I quite like those. Yeah. I know. I don't give a shit. But yeah, Ubisoft. That's what I think about it, Clarky. Great big side holder of bullshit. That's what that news is. But we'll see.
I think it'll be good.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll put a bet on it, Dan. We'll put a bet on it.
I'm not betting with you.
We'll bet a crate of Brewdog or something.
Oh, I don't know. We'll see what. Well, what's the bet then? That it's good.
It has to. Well, we need to figure out the details. It has to get a certain review score, maybe a certain percentage on Metacritic, maybe.
Yeah, Metacritic. I'll be bombing that site with negative reviews.
There we go. Above an 8 on Metacritic. Well, that's easy because it's out of 100.
Yeah, I'm not betting with you. No way.
You never hear the end of it if I win.
Well, we'll see.
Oh.
Anyway, I'm not. I haven't got high hopes. Let's be honest. I haven't. But we'll see. Yeah.
It'll look nice.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe.
I've got a question from Stunty on Twitter.
Oh.
He says, if you had the chance, what old console would you pull out the loft and play? As I pulled out the Wii U and played Metroid Trilogy recently, it made my eyes go funny. Lol.
Yeah, I played that a little while ago during lockdown, and good God, the controls with the Wii remote are gash. In fact, I spent ages trying to work out. It was just discombobulating. You were trying to unlearn years of gameplay on FPSs and try to reconstitute again. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it at all. So I've got. I don't know. The only thing I've got stashed away. I've got a PS2 stashed away, original Xbox. Oh, I know, the original Xbox, and it'll be Outrun 2. That's what I'd dig out.
Great game.
Yeah.
Great game.
Yeah, that's what I'd dig out.
See, I find this question tough because I do this sometimes anyway, and then I realise how shit the games look, so I'll put it away again. But
And they get yelled at.
no, but the thing is, though, with the mini consoles, it makes it a lot easier to do, and I find that, you know, if you go back and play, I don't know, PS1, like a lot of PS1, PS2 games, they just look god awful, and the same with the Saturn. But then you get up to the Dreamcast, and that still holds up quite well, even to this day, to be honest. And then you have to go backwards to like the Super Nintendo and the Mega Drive for games to look decent again as well, because that pixel art style, I feel, just never gets old. So I could happily go back and play Mario, Sonic, and various other games on those systems just over and
Let's
over
be
again.
honest, the N64 was the ugliest console for graphics.
Oh yes, because I remember my mate. I never had a 64. Dave did, and I'd go around his house and we'd play shitloads of Mario Kart and GoldenEye and all that. And every time I go around there, I'd say, "Mate, these games just look like cardboard cutouts, just plastered on the screen."
It's just smudgy. I found the 64. It didn't ever look that clear.
No,
like the picture on it.
Dog's dinner, mate.
No, and the games were good though.
Like.
Don't get me wrong.
Games were good, but it was just looked dodgy.
GoldenEye.
Yeah, but
I played Ocarina of Time. I downloaded a copy onto my Wii U of it. Jesus Christ, Ocarina of Time on the N64 does not look good whatsoever. It's crying out for. Well, they had an update for the 3DS, didn't they? Which made it look better, but yeah, it hasn't aged well on that console.
Yeah. I mean, if you compare that to the PlayStation, you know, I mean, the PlayStation was the clear winner in the graphics department there. 100%.
It had its moments. Like if you play the original Tekken on PlayStation, that was awful. Tekken 2 was an improvement.
Toshinden, look at Toshinden.
Oh
when
man, it was awful. But come Tekken 3, they actually managed to work out how to do a polygon. But early days, not good at all.
One of the first games I still remember where I just thought like you've kind of almost nailed the polygons down, where you started to see less of the joins on the different articulation and such, was Dead or Alive on 3. No, was it 3 on the original Xbox?
Oh yeah, I remember that. I remember playing that.
I've mentioned it a few times. I think Team Ninja had that system sussed because they pushed quite a lot out of what that system was capable of graphically, and made some highly polished titles.
Yeah,
there we go.
So that's the answer to that question.
Basically, something that doesn't look like a dog's dinner. Yeah.
Very much. Right, let's try and find I think we only had one Facebook question. Facebook group's not been very busy recently. So, again, Twitch people, come and save the question section. Elliot, was there actually... The only person to ask the question on the Facebook group was Elliot. And he's got a brand new profile pic, and he's grown a bit of a beard. Oh, how he's grown.
I remember. Do you remember he used to turn up in our chat when he was about the youngster?
Yes.
A little squeaky voice asking us annoying questions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello, guys.
I blocked him for God knows how long. Oh dear. Happy birthday, Elliot. It's his birthday today.
Happy birthday, Elliot. How old is he today?
Happy birthday.
He's 22.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
When did he start listening to the show then? When he was like 11?
When it was
13?
illegal. Yeah, when it was
13,
illegal, mate.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, we taught him all the swear words he knows.
Yeah. We've been a positive influence on his life. Let's just say that. Okay, so Elliot asks, how excited are you for a Fallout community mod to get released on Steam this month? It's a whole new campaign with a map and voice acting. It's called Fallout New Vegas: The Frontier.
I saw this trending on Twitter the other day. Actually, I've never watched the
I've heard
trailer, but
about
I
it.
knew they were working on something.
I've heard about it as well. Apparently, it crashed the website, so the mod site. Soon it went up, and now I think it's going to Steam next month. I think. So early access, and apparently the mod's a bit glitchy at the moment until they get it fixed. So, but this apparently this content is huge apparently in terms of gameplay. But I won't play it because I don't have a PC. So,
I might check this out.
Yeah,
man. On top of all the other millions of games I've got to play, but yeah, that's
stick it on the list. Stick it on the list.
That's another example though of. What I love about PC gaming, and if you've got good developers out there that aren't Nintendo and don't want to sue every fucker out there, you get fans that make mods or remake games, like in the case of the original Half-Life, which fans made a full remake of it, and fans were like, yeah, you can whack it on our store. Bethesda have allowed this team to publish this DLC, and it's great. I think that's a really, really nice move of them to allow them to do that, to be honest.
It's an interesting move, obviously, as well, because if you're a developer and you've created something and someone else is like, well, we can create something out of that as well. Yeah. Obviously, yeah, you are going to get a few times where it's like, no, you can't do that. That's our IP.
Yeah.
Issue you like various legal actions if you don't
Nintendo.
Yeah.
Always Nintendo.
But yeah, you'll get other developers where it's like, go on, put it out. Hey, dude, that was really good. And we might be looking for people to join our team. So how would you like to put your expertise from what you want to do there back over to a mainstream full game?
Well, that's how Counter-Strike came about. It was a mod for Half-Life, fan-made mod. And now look at it. It's still one of the most popular games.
Quite a lot of the most popular games on at least streaming are fan-made games.
Yeah, it's nuts. Absolutely.
Like, it's not, when you think about quite a lot of the games that do really well, they're not, well, in some cases, yeah, like huge titles, but a lot of them are like indie titles.
Yeah. 100%.
They just suddenly explode and become the in thing.
Yeah. That's all the questions, guys. It's been a long show. It's 10 past 11.
It has, actually.
Wow, that's longer than I thought it would be. I've got work in the morning.
Yeah, so have I, but hey ho, shit happens.
I'm actually off tomorrow.
Nice.
I switched someone asked me to switch the day round. So.
And the first thought, the first thing that popped to your head was, that would be awesome because I'm going to be up late podcasting. So I'm going to switch days, 100%.
No.
Oh, come on. It's a highlight of your week, Darren. Come on.
It probably is nowadays.
It's a highlight of my week. I can safely say that, to be honest. Cool. That's the end of the show, guys. Thank you very much for coming on. 2.5 hours. Bloody hell. Nuts.
Whoops.
Whoopsie. Again, thank you very much.
Peeps is like, this is why I didn't fucking come in.
That's it. Yeah. I'm going to be making a lot more content on my YouTube channel, Mark's Gaming Den. He's made a resurgence. That good-looking guy. So check out that YouTube channel. I'm going to be doing some more video reviews. What?
Den.
Mark's Gaming Den.
I'm about to say Dennis.
Sorry. Dennis the Men, not Dennis the Menace.
Yeah.
So okay. So check out the videos that are on there at the moment. I'm still learning how to do video editing at the moment, so the cuts might look a bit rough or whatever, but I'm learning, and I'm enjoying doing the videos. So I've got some ideas in the pipeline. But if you've got any ideas, please feel free to message me on Twitter or Facebook.
I told you,
Discord
top 10 cats in games.
Top 10 cats in games.
No.
Cool.
Think about it.
Yeah,
it's gonna get hits. It's gonna get hits. It's gonna get loads of hits.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Retweet that shit.
I mean, the internet loves cats, right? So
apparently so.
Yeah. And that's about it. So from me, Mark Webb, Gamer Tag, Piss on D, Steam ID, Webby, 360G.
And good night from me, Cinema Dan.
And Sleepy Switch.
So thank you very much. Don't forget to find us on Twitter at 360GamerCast. For those of you that are not listening on the Patreon, please visit patreon.com/360GamerCast to subscribe from as little as £5 a month, and you get a podcast episode direct to your earbuds through any podcast app for as little as £5 a month. So you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Discord. Clarky, no, I'm not going to sell bath water. I know what that reference is now. It's a bit gross. Anyway, thank you very much. We will see you next week. Goodbye.